Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. How you doing? I don't know how this is gonna go. Um, StreamYard has like all these like warning messages on it. And like this was literally me this whole week when everything Howie Claus did was Star Wars Trek Gate, whatever. This was Helen thinking, how do I do a stream talking about the Star Wars Trek Gate? Um, I wondered if that was an omen. Should I not do a stream this week? And the weather's a bit funny, so who knows how this is going to go? I have no idea. And I don't know who does or doesn't follow me on Instagram, but I was not joking. I feel like I'm just going to sit here and eat Tim Tams tonight. There is a delicious cup of tea in here. So that's what I might do. Like, is it going to be snack chat with Helen? Is it going to be Star Wars hour with Miss Allison? I don't know. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I don't know if StreamYard's even going to last for this entire stream. So I'll give it a go. There'll be hot takes, and I'll use my usual disclaimer if you are a Star Wars fan and you have stuck with me this long and this is the stream where you're like, I cannot with this Aussie chick anymore. Fair play. You've hung out more than what I would have. It is, guys. Far out. Let's see how this goes. So we've got some people in the chat, which I appreciate. Uncarded Reviews first comment, Carlos Burgos, catch up, my friend. Oh, poor Carlos. I know Carlos is actually running some errands this morning, so we'll give him a reprieve. Typically, he's very early with the comments in the chat, but it's not a competitive sport, guys. It's okay. Whether you're the first or the last commenter, it's all good. We've got Valkyrie, good morning, Helen and chat. I'll be in and out since I'm at work, but we'll be here for most of it. Well, that's cool. Happy Friday to you, Valkyrie. Ren's is here, Tim Tam time. Yeah, it's chewy caramel Tim Tam time, to be specific, because I do think these are the best to do the Tim Tam slam with, and I am going to do the Tim Tam slam before this gets too cold, because you want not hot, but also not cold, because the hotter the liquid is, the harder it is for the biscuit to keep it together. So I'm hoping I can demonstrate the Tim Tam slam in a way that people will understand and appreciate how freaking delicious it is, because it's probably going to be the high point of the stream for me, not going to lie. Batman Collectibles, evening, Helen and chat. Evening, Shu. Hope you're doing well. Bobby Dillon's here. Friday, we've made it, guys. Tariff tornado. Yeah, I was listening to a Wall Street Journal podcast about all the tariff stuff today, and yeah, where will it go? How will it end? I don't know. Seriously, it's I'm kind of wondering, like, can I set up a side hustle being like a mail redistribution point for like, because like Hong Kong to Australia is going to have no tariffs, but then I don't know that I trust Australia Post, because you know they almost lost Cousin Anthony's gift. So yeah, Toy Shiro Land coming 2020 never. Gilbert, yes, always a stream on a Friday, 3 hours, lots to talk about. Look, I don't know that we're going to get to 3 hours in a Star Wars-centric stream. I was very grateful that I was so convinced it's all going to be Star Wars this week, and fair play, because I know Celebration is around the corner. I breathed a sigh of relief when Black Suit Tobey was released, and when JazzInc shared some pictures of their penguin, I was like, thank the Lord. But seriously, like, and then I had to live with a packet of Tim Tams in my house for most of the week, and I had to like hide them so I wouldn't see them all the time and then want to eat them before the stream. So like that was a challenge in and of itself. My goodness. Tim Tam tariff be damned. Well, Bobby, I'll send you Tim Tams. You don't have to buy them. You know, I'll send them to you whenever you want. I'm here for you on my relaxing Friday day. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I hope I don't upset too many Star Wars peeps tonight with my hot takes. Happy Tim Tam Day, Miss Batwoman. 100% happy Tim Tam Day. Seriously. I've said this before. I typically don't have Tim Tams in my house because I'm very good at having the packet unopened, and then as soon as the packet is opened, they like speak to me. Because it's like you could eat an apple or you could have delicious Tim Tams. Like, what would make you happier? And of course the answer is always delicious Tim Tams. That would make me happy. So we're gonna talk Tim Tams. We're gonna do snack time up front because then I've got to do the Star Wars. And then we'll talk about some other stuff. And I may eat Tim Tams along the way. Like, I can't promise you that I'm not just going to sit here. There's 9 Tim Tam biscuits in this packet. And fun fact, the number of Tim Tams in a packet varies by flavour. I don't know why. But yeah, will I eat all 9? I don't know. I probably won't sleep after if I've eaten all 9. But we'll see. I'll give it a crack. AJ's here. Greetings, Helen and friends. I hope all is well. I'm good, AJ. Hope you are too. Happy Friday. Tim Tam time. Yeah, Tim Tam time is the best time. Tim Tam slam time is an even better time. So, guys, I'm going to start the stream off on a high point for me because, God, I also look so tired. Seriously. It's going to be an interesting. Miss Allison must be busting with joy over all the new Star Wars reveals. Look, Miss Allison had a lot to say. I will convey that to you as much as I remember because when she starts with the Star Wars, I do find it hard to concentrate. Oh, good, Mike is here. Hey, everyone. Whoa, what is this about Tim Tams? So I need to grab my own Tim Tams in order to follow along. No, you don't. So I have brought chewy caramel Tim Tams for Snack Chat. Also because Jesus Christ, it was so much Star Wars, and I may lose the will to live during this stream. So I was like, how can I motivate myself to stream? Tim Tams. So I have a hot cup of tea. It's white. So this is just like a black tea, or you could have English breakfast. You could do this with coffee. The main thing is you want a hot beverage. I did make this probably like about 10 minutes ago to let it to cool a bit because you don't want it to be stupidly hot because it's a chocolate biscuit and you don't want the insides to melt too quickly. So I'm going to talk about Tim Tams and I'm going to do a Tim Tam slam, which I had done on Costa stream. But now I'm going to do on my own stream so people have the evidence on my channel that I am truly authentic Australian girl. S-Beam, the Tim Tams are out. Yeah, mate, because God, Star Wars bonanza. Like, how am I going to keep myself interested if I don't have snack food? That Homer mug is cool. It is cool. And you know what? I also have socks with this because this is like my favorite meme of all time. Like, anybody who messages me regularly knows I send this meme all the time. I freaking love it. So I have a mug, I have socks. I saw Adidas did sneakers and I didn't find them, which made me very sad. But I need to be careful not to drink too much of this because you don't want the liquid level to be too low. All right, so Tim Tam time with Helen. So, peas. This is a Tim Tam. It's a chocolate-coated biscuit. Biscuit because Australian, not cookie. This is not America. This is a biscuit. Coated in chocolate. So what I'm going to try to do is show you the photo on the packet. So I was going to snap one in half, but I didn't think that was a good idea. So do you see there? There's 2 biscuits. And then you have like a filling in the middle. So like the traditional Tim Tam is like a hazelnut filling. But this one has caramel. And then the whole thing is coated in chocolate. Like, what more could you want in life? So there's lots of varieties. There's dark chocolate, white chocolate, but white chocolate's not great because white chocolate's horrible. You've got Tim Tams that have double coat of chocolate, so the chocolate around it is really thick. There's peppermint. There's like salted caramel as well. They'll come up with different seasonal flavors of Tim Tams all the time, but I like a classic. So I'm going to show you how to do a Tim Tam slam, although it's humid, so I'm worried this is going to get chocolatey and melt in my hand. We don't have Tim Tams in the Netherlands, but give me a Dutch stroop waffle any day. Like, oh my God, I love stroop waffle. Freaking love stroop waffle. Shop in there had mini stroop waffles before Christmas, and Helen had a little bit too much fun with a few bags of stroop waffles, and they were delicious. They're so good. I can't wait to see this, and don't worry about the Star Wars stuff. If you put the pics on the screen, we can walk you through it. Look, I got some hot takes. White chocolate isn't chocolate. S-Beam, you're a man after my own heart, because that's what I keep saying to people. It's not chocolate. White chocolate is not chocolate. And it's just sweet and horrible, and I have no time for white chocolate. Don't come at me with white chocolate. I'm not interested. I'm glad we're getting the full Tim Tam breakdown. I never took the time to look at them because I just want to eat them all. Yeah, I mean, that's the story of my life with Tim Tams. That looks absolutely decadent. We need to find a Tim Tam buying agent that exports globally. Well, if you're in the US, Target sometimes has Tim Tams, because I know Costa was able to get Tim Tams from Target near him. I think they don't have the range of varieties we have, but I understand they have like the classic, which is the choc hazelnut. They have the chewy caramel, and they get the choc peppermint, which are also delicious. I don't know that I would Tim Tam slam a choc peppermint one, because I'm not sure that those flavors would mix. But Target in the US, good starting point. Because as well, I think they're probably more reasonably priced there, because I think Bob looks them up on Amazon and the price was exorbitant. So don't do Amazon. I'm more hype on the Spider-Man Toby than all the Star Wars announcements. I mean, me too. Like, I that interested me the most this week. Stroop waffles, what delicious dessert is this? I'm probably not describing this right, so sorry if I'm getting this wrong, Gil, but it's like a very thin wafer biscuit sandwich. And it has, I think the Stroop, it's like a caramel. So you've got the two waffle thin biscuits together with this layer of like this caramel goodness. And what you're actually meant to do is you put them on top of your hot drink to heat up. I didn't do that with my mini ones. I just scoffed them because I was just couldn't be bothered. But yeah, Stroop waffle, delicious. Totally can recommend. Mike says, can confirm my Target as Tim Tams to my detriment. Yeah, well, to everyone's detriment. Hey, Helen, hope you're doing well today. I'm good, Tyria. How are you? Thank you for coming to hang out. All right, guys. So, Tim Tam Slam. It's pretty basic. What we want to do, it's a rectangle biscuit. Remember, biscuit, not cookie. I'm going to bite diagonally opposite ends of the biscuit. And you want to take small bites, not big bites. We're literally just trying to like cut through the chocolate. So this is what I'm going to do. So literally tiny bite, focus. Little tiny bite. So I bit that end, I bit that end. That's the cookie preparation. So then your beverage. As I said, you don't want it too hot, you don't want it too cold. And what you need to do is you got to act quick, because what you're going to do is going to use your Tim Tam as a straw to drink your hot drink. And what that does is, like, the Tim Tam absorbs the hot drink and kind of gets melty and gooey and delicious. But with that, it starts impacting the structural integrity of the biscuit. So you have to eat it very quickly. Otherwise, you end up with just like biscuit in your tea or coffee, which just makes you sad. So let's see that I can do this. It's been a while. I don't think I've done this since I did it with Costa. So I've got my tea. It's not too hot, not too cold. Tim Tam. God, I got to be a little bit more upright for this. Goodness. Hope you guys can see this. Okay. So now this is like sucked up the tea and is melty. Like the chocolate's melted. The inside's all gooey and yummy. The caramel's gotten a little bit warm. It's so good. See, it's all stuck to my fingers because of the meltiness. You can't do that with an Oreo. That's why Tim Tam is like the superior biscuit. So that's success. You don't want to take too much liquid in. And as you're drinking the tea, you feel the biscuit like start to give way. And you don't want to let it give way too much, because as I said, then it's all just going to fall into your cup of tea and you're not going to have a good time. And I'm not going to lie, do I want to do another one? Probably. Maybe I'll have another Tim Tam after Star Wars chat. But that was delicious. I hope you guys followed along and understood. And if you buy Tim Tams, I want you to try a Tim Tam slam and let me know how you went. Let me know what you thought. As I said, I do like the caramel ones because I do think the caramel gives a little bit more structure to the biscuit. Not that I have an engineering background. Like, I work in marketing and communication, so what do I know about any of this stuff? Nothing. So that's just me doing snack chat with delicious Tim Tams. Gilbert, Nutella twist is delicious vanilla ice cream with chocolate cream mixed together. Oh, I don't know what that is. I thought you were going to tell us about stroopwafel. I love stroopwafel. Big group, hi Helen. Are we talking about food? Yeah, we're talking about Tim Tams because I feel like I've been talking about Tim Tams for weeks, and because all we've got to pretty much talk about is Star Wars. I was like, I'm bringing Tim Tams so I don't lose the will to live in this stream. Ferrero Rocher is my favourite chocolate. Fair enough. Ferrero Rochers are pretty good. Where can we pre-order these amazing cookies? Do they accept an NRD? Well, no, they're biscuits. Biscuits. Although I know the American packet does say cookie because Costa and I were comparing the packet. So the packet he got from Target, I think it looked similar to this, but it had like Australia's favourite cookie or something. And I was like, well, we wouldn't say that. We would say biscuit. But yeah, I mean, America. This is peak content right here. Well, I don't know if it is or is, but I know I'm pretty happy because I just had Tim Tams on a stream. Amazing. Yeah, they're so good. Bob, I will say, if you need more Tim Tams, you just need to say the word. I'll send them to you. Often the hello all just in time for the Tim Tams. Yeah, I mean, there may be more later, although my tea's getting cold and I don't know that it would work as well with cold tea. So, yeah, I probably will just drink the tea and eat a Tim Tam in the traditional sense. The Broke Collector, my founding members here. Hope everyone's having a great start to their weekend. I am. I hope you are too. I assume people may be still at work, but, you know, it's 10:20 here in Western Australia, so I'm just getting ready for the weekend. Helen might have to start another channel. Goodness. God, I had contemplated just setting this stream up as Snack Chat with Helen, and I could have just brought like a bunch of like Australian snacks and just... I feel like that's probably would have been my greater contribution to the collecting world today than whatever I'm going to say today. I'm craving cookies now. Well, no, you need to crave biscuits because they're biscuits. 9 biscuits. And I love how they put the health star rating. So this is like a 0.5 health star rating. But, I mean, happiness rating is 5 out of 5. I'm not going to lie. Happiness rating on a Tim Tam is like 5 out of 5, 100%. Why wouldn't you be happy? I'm assuming that will work with the mint flavour. I'll be trying that with my coffee over the weekend. Thanks for the instructional video, Helen. Look, I don't know how well it will go with the mint flavour. I'm a little bit not sure how that's going to go with like a tea or a coffee. The chewy caramel ones are good. The double coat ones are good because they do have that extra layer of chocolate. The classic Tim Tams are good. I don't know because I love choc mint, don't get me wrong, but I kind of know it doesn't mix with everything. And I'm not going to lie. Part of me is like, do I do another one? Because I seriously, that was so good. Blue Tattoos here. Hey, everyone. Hey, Blue. How are you? Happy Friday. Thank you for coming to hang out. 6 Snack Shiro channel. Well, I mean... I feel like I need a Shuri channel as well because she's making more and more cameos in my video, my little monkey. I should not have done that because now all I want to think about is freaking Tim Tam, guys. Seriously. Let me pack them away, but the packet looks somewhat similar in the US. That's what it looks like in Australia. I'm going to put them off to the side because this will just be me eating biscuits for... I don't know how long would it take me to eat a packet of Tim Tams. I don't even know. G'day. Hope you're well and all's good. Well, g'day. Are you an Aussie, Dr. No? Where are you from? let us know. I love to know where people are from. I'm not going to lie, because it seriously trips me out. At some of the locations through which which people watch me from, because I'm just some random in Australia who I don't pretend I know what I'm doing. So it trips me out when people say where they're from. Oh, UK, fair enough. So you've probably dealt with a lot of Aussies in your life. So fair play. Well, welcome. Luminara, hello. How are you? Happy Friday. Thank you for coming by. The Tim Tam packet is getting finished. You know it, we know it. Look, maybe not now, maybe not tonight, but I can guarantee you by the end of the weekend, there will not be a Tim Tam left in that packet. And then I will not buy the packet up. As I said, I cannot keep them in the house because can't be trusted. Tim, you know, Bob, you know what it's like with the Tim Tams. You've had Tim Tams in your possession. You know the struggle. You know the struggle is real when it comes to Tim Tams. Okay, I'm getting that Wi-Fi thing on StreamYard. So I'm hoping this is going to be okay, because there was a warning on StreamYard about some issues. I will laugh if StreamYard dies when I'm meant to be doing a Star Wars-centric stream. That will just crack me up. Oh my God, I just noticed the Harvey Dent is gone from the background. Where is he? Fun fact, I moved him 5 minutes before the stream because I was like, I don't want to turn up again and have Harvey standing there again. So this wall where you can probably see a mirror there, it's like a wall-to-wall built-in robe, and I just popped him in there. I have all these duplicate figures like Armory Bruce Wayne. Oh, excuse me. Harvey Dent, and I need to, as I said, I need to work out what I'm going to do with them, because I probably just need to pack them away if I'm completely honest, because I'm not displaying them. Happy Friday, everyone. Helen, I scored the special edition John Wick this week. Now it's your turn to pick up Kane. Look, Keith Lee. Look, I know you claim that I peer pressured you into buying a Batmobile, but I don't believe that to be true. And if this is some kind of reciprocal, you want to bully me into buying a Kane, I don't know. I am wondering if Pop Culture is going to do an Easter sale, because sometimes they do an Easter sale. And if they do an Easter sale, there's a couple of things I'm tempted by, because Bob Dylan's trying to get me to buy the Armory, the one I don't have. I have that one, but I don't have the clear one. And I'm like, I don't know. But I feel like I have my Wick display kind of perfect with the 3 looks. And as I said, because I don't know where I'd put Kane, so I'm a bit reluctant to get anything new that doesn't fit into an existing display space. I'm not going to say no anymore. I'm going to say he's probably moved into the maybe category. Luminara, what is a Tim Tam? Oh, Lumi, you missed my big snack chat spiel. So Tim Tams are delicious chocolate biscuits from Australia. So it's like a sandwich biscuit. So you got 2 biscuits. It has like a hazelnut cream filling. These ones have caramel, and then they're coated in chocolate. And we have this thing called a Tim Tam Slam, which I just did like 5-10 minutes ago. I may do it again, I don't know, where you basically bite the ends of the Tim Tam and you have like a hot drink. So I've got like a white tea, and you drink the hot drink through the Tim Tam, and it like melts the biscuit and it gets all delicious and nice. And it's like probably one of the best Australian snack foods, like Vegemite and all that. No. Like Tim Tams are what you want. Tim Tams are the best. Near London meet a lot of great Australians. Oh, that's cool. It's funny because I've traveled to a few places in my time, and like Australians are such a novelty if you go to somewhere like America or Canada. But you go to like London, no one cares. They're just like, mate, you're everywhere. We don't care that an Aussie's here. So it cracks me up. I actually had to hide my Tim Tams because I had company over and made the mistake of sharing them, and they ate them all. This is one of my selfish moments. I can't help it. Yeah, dude, no. Why would you tell them about... No, you tell them as in past tense story. Hey, I discovered these biscuits. They were great. You should buy them at Target. Because no one's leaving Tim Tams on the table. I wouldn't. I'd eat them all. Free Tim Tams. Got to be strategic with your Tim Tams. Costa, I just did a Tim Tam slam. You missed it. Shame. Friendly reminder to hit the like button. Thank you, Dr. No, I appreciate it because my hype man Carlos is busy today. So hit the like button and subscribe. It's free. You'll get all the Star Wars hot takes today. So why wouldn't you want to be subscribed for that? So happy days. The entire garage rack full of DC, but no armory. Not buying that for a second. No, there's an armory. Look. I got the OG. I still don't know how I feel about the plastic one. I'm very torn. But if pop culture has an Easter sale, I might be tempted. Helen, you said pop culture might be doing a sale. I initially thought you meant Costa was selling some of his figs. No, sorry, pop culture is in the Australian business. I tend to just call Costa because he's a person. He is not a, well, he's a YouTube channel as well, but I'm going to try to get some. Luminara, Target sometimes has them. I know when Costa got his Tim Tams, Target in the US had them. So that would be where I would start because when they're on Amazon, they are ridiculously priced. So Target in the US is your friend. They typically have like the plain, which is a plain or traditional, which is a chocolate hazelnut. They have the chewy caramel, which are delicious. And they do a choc peppermint. And the chocolate on those ones is dark chocolate, which is really, really nice. I am everything. I am everywhere and nowhere. I got mine at Target and Amazon. Oh, I hope the Amazon ones weren't too expensive. I feel like someone looked them up on Amazon once and I couldn't believe how much they cost. And get them now before the tariffs. Seriously, guys. Because Tim Tams are amazing. Thank me later. I should stop stalling and talk about this. I should stop stalling and talk about the Star Wars, shouldn't I? Bloody Star Wars. They weren't. Oh, okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Because, I mean, they have gone up in price quite a bit here. I'm not going to lie. Got to make sure you slam. I know Costa. So I did the tutorial, mate. I did the tutorial. I explained. I probably over-explained because I'm an overthinker. But people know. So you can either watch the start of this stream or you can watch, goodness, when was it? Like November last year on Points of Articulation? Costa nailed it first go. Like, Costa's, like, expert on the Tim Tam Slam. He did an amazing job. All right. Let's talk about Star Wars. Woo! That's what I want. That's what I want. They are $10 on Amazon. So, like, that's probably 14 or 15 Australian dollars. And they used to be about $3 Australian a packet. Now they're more like 5 or 6 because, lol, cost of living. So I guess that's not bad. I don't know. I guess if you're getting free postage as well, maybe that's not bad. I'm never using straws again while I have Tim Tams in the pantry. Look, I'm gonna do one more. I want to show Lumi. Do I want to delay Star Wars chat as well? Absolutely. Why not have another Tim Tam Slam? We'll do it again when points returns. Yes, we should. Absolutely. We should see if everyone on the panel that day / night can get them because that would be fun. My Target had them for $3. Well, that's a good price because that's on par with Australia. So I'm going to quickly do another one also because, you know, Tim Tam biscuit, delicious. As I said, we're going to eat corner, not too much, just a tiny bite. Like that. Like that. Because we're using the biscuit as a straw. I hope my tea isn't too cold. You also want to have your tea or coffee. I have white tea, as in black tea with a little bit of milk. Not too hot, because you're using the cookie as a straw. And if the drink is too hot, it's all going to go horribly wrong. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is drink the drink through the Tim Tam. And as you're doing that, you'll feel the biscuits start to like disintegrate. And that's when you want to eat the cookie. Because if you keep going, the cookie will fall into your tea and it will just be a mess and a catastrophe. And you don't want that in your life. So then we'll talk about the Star Wars. God, this is how much I have to hype myself up to talk about Star Wars. I got to do two Tim Tam slams. All right. So cup, Tim Tam. My tea's gotten a bit cold, but you can see the chocolate starting to melt. Gooey deliciousness. So good. Who needs Star Wars? Tim Tams. My tea has gotten a little bit cold though. But it still has melted sufficiently. Like I have chocolate on my hands, so. I'm going to laugh at anyone who tunes into the stream for the first time and be like, what's this chick even do? She just eats food and talks about nothing. Ten out of 10 would recommend. I'm going to pack these away now. No, get back in there, Cookie. Cookie, look what you've done. No, biscuit. It's always a biscuit. It's never a cookie. It's never a cookie. All right. Tim Tams, I store them in the fridge because I live in Australia and it's freaking hot. And they will melt. And I don't want them to melt. I want them to be delicious. $3.49 at Target. Well, $3.49 well spent, I would say. There you go. Who needs Amazon? 100%. You want to charge people for watching you do that? I mean, probably. How much does that pay? Could I quit my job? No, I'm joking. To hell with it. I'm having a Tim Tam right now. I can't wait anymore. If you have Tim Tams, why are you not eating them right now? Like there's no excuse, Mike. No excuse. Love the scientific explanation of tea and biscuits. Yeah, it comes because I'm an overthinker who works in marketing and communications. So I use a lot of words, which I probably don't need to do. Let's see what words I can find for the Star Wars, crikey. Okay. So what do I know about Andor? What I know about Andor is that cousin Anthony at a figure posing channel once tried to get me to watch Andor because he said it wasn't a very Star Wars-y Star Wars series. And I said, well, why would that be the thing to watch if it's not Star Wars-y? Because how would that help me get into Star Wars if it's not Star Wars-y? I'm pretty sure it was Andor he was talking about. But anyway, we're getting this guy, K2SO. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I did talk to cousin Anthony about this figure before the stream. And unless he's pulling my leg, he is telling me this has been made before. And I find that interesting because when I look at this figure and I look at the body, I feel like this body is going to be fragile and prone to breaking. So do I need to brace myself for like 18 months' time when everyone in the groups is going to be complaining that their K2SO has like a broken arm, limb, whatever? I don't know. I don't know because I don't do the Star Wars guys, but he's coming out and it's maybe a 2.0 unless cousin Anthony was lying to me. I hope he wasn't. But I'm just looking at those long limbs, thin joints. Like on that photo on the left, they don't even have like a display stand. That feels dangerous to me. Because are those little ankles going to hold up that big like honking body? I don't know. I don't know that they will. This would stress me out if I owned this. Dark chocolate and mint, so good. Yeah, 100% it is. I don't know. I don't know if you can find mint slices in America. Mint slices are like my favorite biscuit. It's so good. It is a dark chocolate with mint cream. Delish. Predate the choc mint Tim Tam, and they are my favorite because it's quite a strong peppermint as well, which I really like. This to me is hilarious. Why is K2 from the Andor show and Andor himself is not? We're going to get to that, believe it or not, because Miss Allison was me about that, and I didn't know half the stuff. But it does make me laugh that this is from Andor, but Andor, who the series is, I'm guessing, is named after, is not from Andor, and I don't get how that works. Like, how do you? Because the photos showed the two of them together. So I don't understand that myself. It makes no sense. Costa, thank you. It is a 2.0, has USB light up now. It did not have breakage issues. Oh, that's good to know. Was it the IG-11? But did Sideshow make that? Because wasn't that very problematic? So when I saw this, I did think I think it's called the IG-11. And I just went, is this going to be a bad time? I don't know. But I did look at this and go, if it was me, I would not be displaying it without a display stand. I have the original one, and they are metal. Oh, okay. This one has USB. I think I love that Howie Claus is making 2025 the year of USB light up. Long may it continue, because nobody has time for batteries, Howie Claus. I don't have this droid, but apparently it's a pretty solid figure. I'm really surprised to hear this. This K2 is a 2.0, and I'm considering, because I have no droids in the collection. Don't tell Allison. Don't want to disappoint you to me. Well, I mean, you know how Miss Allison feels, particularly about one BB-8. She has an unnatural obsession with BB-8, and she's very disappointed because she thought after the sleepover Stormtrooper that she was going to get her Neon Tech BB-8 for Star Wars Celebration. And it didn't happen. So now she's championing it to be a summer convention exclusive. I told her not to hold her breath, but guys, she doesn't listen to me. So, if I'm not mistaken, the original was from its appearance in Rogue One. I will 100% take your word for it because I have no clue. I have both of the previous versions of this figure, and they are well engineered. So is this the third version of K2SO? Did Hot Toys make both of them, or did Sideshow make one? Because I haven't owned any Sideshow figures, but I feel like the consensus is generally that their bodies are not amazing. And I think it was the IG-11 where everyone was saying that thing was like problematic. Excuse me, my voice keeps going. The body was problematic. It was difficult to pose. Bits were breaking. Like that was a bit of a schmozzle, that one. One was K2SO and one was called a KX droid. Okay, Costa, appreciate you. Thank you for the assist. There's a variant and a KX Enforcer droid, very similar, okay. IG-11 was a hot toy also. What was the one that Sideshow did? Because I thought Sideshow did one too. God, what? Helen, you don't even care. Why are you even... God. The first one was from Rogue One, but they made a variant for The Mandalorian. Okay, there we go. K2SO, apparently more durable than I thought. So that's good. I'm happy to hear that because I don't want people getting broken figures and having problems because there's only so many replacement parts that might exist. So, here we go. The crappy Sideshow one was Grievous. Oh, sorry. I'm trying. I'm trying so very hard. I kind of roughly remember what he looks like, but the name, I don't know. But thank you. Often appreciate you. Case Grease was the figure that Sideshow did. That was horrible. Now I know. All right. So, what are you getting with K2SO? I hear you ask. Well, I'm so glad you asked. So USB light up, which we love. Long may it continue, Howie Claws. You're getting the figure. People have said impressive engineering, durable, so tick, tick, tick. You're getting a gun. You're getting some weapons. That's cool. And you're getting display base with a swap out sort of plate at the top, which I like. I like when the stands have some different display options. I really loved that with the Robert Pattinson Batman. That had like, I think he got 2 maybe different sort of sticker decals that you could put over the top to change the look of the stand, which I thought was super cool. So it's a simple thing. It probably cost them about 5 cents to do. But I think it's nice when they do stuff like that. And I think probably because this is, I guess, not having a lot of accessories, but I mean, I don't know what else it should come with. It's nice that they included it. So guys, it's Andor, but not from Andor. Is he from Rogue One as well? Maybe Cousin Anthony told me like not that long ago and I've already forgotten. But he's coming. And from what I gathered, seems like people are quite excited for this figure. Seems like it's filling a gap of the character that hasn't previously been made. And I have to be honest, when I heard the name, I was like, oh, isn't there a show called Andor? Is he Andor from Andor? And I'm taking it so. And yeah, I'm confused. Why are you not making Andor from Andor? Why are you making Andor from something else when his buddy is from Andor? I don't know. Howie Claws works in mysterious ways. Do I know much about the character or the actor? No, of course I don't. Like you must be new here if you're wondering that, because I don't watch the Star Wars. But look, he has his outfit. He's got his vest. It's got a bit of colour to it. That's nice. The outfit looks well tailored. He's got his little modelling pose on the left with the leg up. That's exciting. So exciting. Andor from Andor. Star Crash, you need Andor, the Latin hottie. Well, I don't even know who this actor is. As I said, all my knowledge of Andor was Cousin Anthony trying to get me to watch Andor because he said it was not Star Warsy. And Andor is set before this movie, is it not? I think maybe not. Who frickin' knows? Not me. So this is Andor. This is what he looks like. I don't know what to compare it to. Looks nice enough to me. And what are you getting with Andor, I hear you ask? I'm so glad you asked. Head sculpt with rotating eyeballs, which we love. Again, long may it continue in 2025. Oh, and by the way, if you're not following Bob on Instagram, well, why not? But Bob posted a cool little hack for these head sculpts that have the different kind of neck connectors for the rolling eyes and how to mod those to make them a magnetic connection, which is ingenious because Bob is ingenious. So just check that out on Bob's Instagram if you want amazing figure hacks. So this guy, he's got the separate rolling eyeballs. We can see he's got the vest in addition to his normal outfit. He's got some weapons. He's got a display stand. He doesn't have a swap out little base plate thing like his buddy does, which is a bit of a shame. Doesn't look like he comes with a great deal, but I don't know if he is or is not meant to come with a great deal. So I'm assuming everything that is here is the essentials of what this guy needs to come with. Hot Toys will release this now, and then in 2 months they'll release a proper Andor version. Yeah, probably. Nothing surprises me with Howie Claws because I guess, two figures with one head sculpt, right? Get the money. Personally, I'm just lukewarm on this character. I was surprised when he was getting his own show, but I thought the first season was a bit all over the place. Season 2 looks more like what I was expecting. Oh, interesting. Sorry if that's a hot take. God, I don't know if it is or isn't. Sculpt looks fantastic. Oh, that's good to know. Because I genuinely wonder when these things are released, like, try not to put too many comments on the Facebook things because, it looks nothing like him and complaint. But I do I do like to know the opinions of more sort of even-keeled and objective experience collectors, perhaps. Because some people just don't like how anything looks. So I'm glad to hear that you think this Scott looks fantastic. Hey, my God, this is going to be my hot take, because on the right, he reminds me a little bit of like a young John Cusack. But I know John Cusack doesn't often have facial hair. But I'm getting some like Latino John Cusack vibes, and I freaking loved John Cusack as a kid. Better Off Dead was one of my favorite 80s movies. I loved Better Off Dead. I have it on like DVD in another room. I think it's amazing. I think he's from Mexico. Okay, cool. Oh, Costa. Costa's fired up. Andor is amazing from beginning to end. Shame. Oh, goodness. Okay. I mean, Star Wars fans tend to disagree on stuff, so I guess this is just typical Star Wars. Having a goatee myself, I can say they nailed that anyway. Okay, that's fair enough. I love Better Off Dead, funny movie. I love it. I always think of like Ricky's mum when he's like, Friends. Oh, I love that movie. I should watch that again soon. It's been ages since I've seen Better Off Dead. Heart Say Anything. John Cusack. He's amazing. I think that he's Peruvian. I will take people's word for it because Helen doesn't know. So moving along, right? I'm trying to get through the Star Wars stuff quickly because lol. Look, goodness. I had to do a double take at first because I was like, did you not just release this? But no. We're calling this Darth Vader Sith Apprentice. I don't often ask questions about the Star Wars, but I'm gonna ask questions about the Star Wars. Is Anakin not Darth Vader when he's wearing the freaking helmet and in all the black? Like when he's in, and this is going to offend people, when he's in like this tunic robe combo, is he not Anakin? So I don't understand why this is called Darth Vader. Is he not Anakin when he is dressed like this? I don't know. But I thought it was interesting. And look, a lot of people, there was mixed reception. And do you know what I legitimately thought of? I thought of Imposter Joker. Because they did the Artisan Joker, but before that, they did Imposter. So, given they, like, I don't know that I ever think Hot Toys is going to be that limited. Did I think they were going to be that cheeky and do this so soon to the Artisan Anakin? No, I did not think they would be this close together. But I also am just really not understanding why these two Anakin figures, like, why are they not giving a sculpted version? Like, why are they only doing rooted hair? It's really something I don't understand. And I still feel like, you know, the Artisan line, there's been copies of those sculpts that have had issues. And I think people are getting annoyed at how limited they are. And I've just never understood, like, if you're going to have the super ultra limited Artisan, cool, like, do that. But why not then have a standard sculpted version that the general population of collector can still access? Like, I wish they had done that with the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. I wish they had done that with Artisans as well. I don't love the Winter Soldier. I wish they gave you that option of a standard sculpted release. And I guess I'm not really understanding why both of these versions of Anakin / Darth Vader, they're not giving you a sculpted version. Like, I'm really not understanding why that is. Actually, this is Darth Vader Moneymaker. I have no idea what that means. He turns into Vader before he is a machine. Okay. Oh, I don't know, guys. Calvin's here. Good morning, Helen and everyone. Rise and grind. Good morning, Calvin. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. But he is Darth Sidious Oh, he is, but Darth Sidious names him Vader while he was still like this after Anakin saves him from Mace. Okay, well, again, I wouldn't know. It's good to know, because when I saw the name Darth Vader, I was like, but isn't Darth Vader helmet Luke, I am your father? Like, I didn't realize he was called that before that. And they could be becoming Darth Vader transition figure. I guess they didn't want to call it transition figure. Lol. I want the hooded Jedi Temple Siege Vader. So based. Sure. Hot Toys hates collectors. I said, come on, come get me, Hot Toys. Look, it's interesting, some of the decisions they make. Like, I seriously, like, I get how big Star Wars is to them. Like, of all the IPs they have, the most figures they have made are in Star Wars. So as much as it's not for me, I am genuinely sitting back, not understanding. Like, you look at those first artisan announcements. Joker got artisan and sculpted. Wanda got artisan and sculpted. Why didn't Anakin? I don't understand. Like, don't tell me there wouldn't be demand for these with a sculpted version. And in fact, I think with some of these artisan issues that we're seeing, and granted, like, they're not on a large scale, but still, for some people, that probably just reinforces, no, I want to stick with sculpted. So I'm really surprised that, yet again, not getting a sculpted version for this. Like, I really am surprised by it. Harley Quinn. Like, I really wanted that the Suicide Squad look. But artisan. And I'm like, well, I don't want to pay that much money for so many figures. And I eventually bit the bullet with Bucky, but like, if that Harley Quinn was offered as just a sculpted, I would have been all in with pop culture for that. But I seriously was just like, with some of them, I'm like, it's more trouble than it's worth. Honestly, I'm not into rooted hair. Give me sculpted. Look, Martin, a lot of people like that as well. Like, I can totally appreciate it. And that's the thing. Rooted hair does require maintenance, because they're either not all going to come out of the box looking amazing, or over time they will require some product, they will require some styling, they need maintenance. And that's the thing. I think, particularly if you're not used to handling rooted hair, I'll put my hair up, I don't do a lot with rooted hair. Definitely there's a technique that comes with it, and that's why part of me has thought, with some of these sculpts that are getting damaged, like, do the owners have a lot of experience with rooted hair? Because could that be a contributing factor? Like, I know in some cases where you can visibly see glue, obviously that's not the fault of collectors. But other people with, like, chunks of hair coming out, I'm like, I don't know how experienced those people are with rooted hair. But I'm the same. I know Bobby keeps trying to convert me to the rooted hair, but there is a part of me that, like, the sculpted is going to look the same. Out of the box, whether I've had it for 10 years, it looks the same. I know what I'm getting. So I am still a little bit, no, I'm not all in. I'm not sending all my sculpts to get rooted. So some people do that, and some of them look amazing. Sometimes they don't. But anyway, I can totally understand people not wanting rooted hair. But again, this is why I'm not understanding why Hot Toys has not given people, either for the artisan version of Anakin or this, why is there not a sculpted version? I'm really not understanding that. Tijuana Mike's here. Happy Friday, collectors. Happy Friday to you too. Hope you're doing well. This hair and the styling, unless I'm missing something, feels very much like the artisan version. Is it that he doesn't have the scar on his head, or is the scar there? Oh no, he's got the scar. So is it just the eyes that are different with this one? Is that, like, the only difference in this head sculpt? Because again, when I saw this, I had to do a double take, because I was like, is Facebook showing me pictures of artisan Anakin again? He was released a couple weeks ago, but no, it was a whole different version of the guy. Howard Chan said that Anakin Skywalker is his favourite Star Wars character. Oh, really? Did he? There you go. Hi, Helen. Vader is also Dutch for father. That's also a hint. Yeah, I learnt that, Blurred Dad Life. Hello, first of all. I learnt that from the movie Pitch Perfect. fun fact that's going to enrage more Star Wars people, because it's Anna Kendrick's character who says, like, his name is literally like Dark Father, like it's in the name. So I did know that, but not from Star Wars, from Pitch Perfect movie. Hot Toys loves resellers. Often look, I have to wonder sometimes, and this is where, like, we had talked a bit about the tariffs last week, and I know it was probably a little bit pie in the sky for me going, will Hot Toys, sorry, I've got Tim Tam crumbs all over my desk and it's very distracting. Will they consider distributing to people that are not Sideshow? And I was like, probably not, because I think that relationship is too ingrained. But I do often wonder, like, does Hot Toys even care beyond their own domestic market? Because they sell in their own shops, they ship however many Sideshow get, not after that. Because I saw in one of the reseller groups, because they're only making 1,000 of these, right? 250 people were wanting this from this reseller. And I'm like, that's a quarter of the allocation. Is it 1,000 just at Star Wars Celebration or 1,000 overall? If I've got that wrong, please correct me. But I was like, that's a lot of grandmas lining up somewhere in Hong Kong to get the POs. But I do wonder, like, do they just not care because they know their people domestically can get it from a store and get it at their retail price, that after that they frankly don't care what happens to it? I don't know. I have to wonder sometimes if they really don't care about international customers. It's just domestic and Sideshow, and after that, whatever, we don't care. I have to ask, is that really Pop Culture Living Room, or did Randall hijack Costa's handle? Well, I mean, that's a great question, because that Randall, he's a character. He's a character, young Randall. I can actually use a comb with my own hair. Oh, I'm lucky I can use a comb with my own hair, let alone being able to use one at this scale. Sculpted looks so good now anyway, and it's cheaper. Well, this is my thing, Mike. Like, I think sculpted hair, like the detail Hot Toys is getting into that, is super impressive. Like, the last figure I unboxed is John Wick, and I mean, Keanu Reeves is lovely, but it's not particularly interesting hair. But the detail they have sculpted into that, She-Hulk, the detail they have sculpted into that hair, it's like super impressive to me. Like, I think if I compare that to my earlier figures, I am noticing that there is so much more detail being sculpted into the hair than what we previously used to get. Different eyes and a red saber with extra base embellishment. Okay, so that is literally the differences. I have to say, I thought the base was pretty cool. Why did I put another picture of the head sculpt in there? Oh no, that was the one where I was thinking this hair looks the same. The base looks cool. Is that going to take up a lot of space in people's collection? Absolutely. But I love a diorama base, and when I saw that, I did think it was quite cool. Like, if you were going to like display this figure on its own, it could make a nice little statement piece with that. But thank you, it's good to know. So the differences are different eyes, red saber, fancy base. Gotcha. All rooted, all figures, all the time would be my preference. Are you friends with Bob Dylan? Are you Bob Dylan? Because you're sounding a lot like Bob Dylan with that kind of sentiment. Oh yeah, buy Star Ace, baby. Star Ace would, you know who would crush rooted hair? Star Ace. Star Ace would crush it. I think Star Ace should do a rooted Okoye for me. That would be amazing. They would crush the hair on an Okoye. Oh, here we go. 2,500, 1,500 Japan, 1,000 world. Oh, okay, wow. So wow, this reseller who's got like 250 people wanting it. Wow, good luck. Good luck, peeps. Totally agree, Helen. Hot Toys has come a long way from the sculpted Lego hair they used to have. I agree. I totally think so. Like, I look at some of my older Bruce Wayne figures, not a lot of detail in that hair. I compare that to, as I say, John Wick, She-Hulk. Even like Yelena and the snowsuit Black Widow. Like, I think the snowsuit Black Widow hair with the plait, I think that looks really good. I mean, the downside is it totally limits my posing options with her because I can only move her head in certain ways and directions. Aesthetically, it looks really, I keep thinking because she's there and I'll look at her. But the lights in that cabinet are not open, so it is what it is. Literally crush it. Hello, I don't know what that means. Original Anakin was 3,000. Oh, interesting. So in total, we've got 5,500. So this head sculpt, and this is what gets me, because as much as people are, oh, it's artisan at limited, I'm like, unless it's got a certificate with a number, an edition size, like yours is number 312 of 3,000, I just don't believe anything is really limited in that sense, unless it's coming with some kind of certificate or something that clearly states, and everybody has their certificate. I just don't believe that these things are as limited. And as I said, will they do something with this later on down the track? Maybe, but I'm really not getting, and maybe it's me, like, I don't know, have they done this look of Anakin in the past with a sculpted head? Is that why they're not doing it now? Because I feel like it sounds like there's people who want this with sculpted hair. So I'm a bit surprised as to why they're not giving it to people. I don't know. When the rooted hair goes frizzy. Well, I mean, and that's my thing, Martin. Like, it's going to need maintenance. And I know what I'm like. I don't maintain my own hair. I'm not maintaining Anakin's hair. I'm not maintaining a figure's hair at all. So for me, I generally am pretty happy with sculpted hair, particularly hair like this that does have a little bit of sort of a wave to it. Like, that's not just putting a bit of water or product in your hair and just in your hand and just running your fingers down to smooth it out or to straighten it. Like, this is going to require a little bit of futzing. I'm a little worried about the new Chewie. I don't know much about it. I still believe the Winter Soldier 2.0 will get a general release, and I feel the same with this. It just won't have all the things that make it exclusive. And I'd be fine with that. But the thing is I'm just going, I don't understand. Like, if they do that later, I don't know how that sits with me. Like, I don't get why you can't just do them all at the same time. Like, we saw that with, like, Jack Sparrow. We had Artisan, we had Deluxe, we had Standard, all announced on the same day. Collectors could make a decision as to which, again, I say choose your own adventure, which one they wanted, and they could go from there. Because I know if I could have just bought a sculpted Bucky, if that was an option, I would have bought that. But the only option presented to me was Artisan. So if they do it as a standard release later, I'll be a little bit annoyed. Star Ace hair rooting, literally crush it. I mean, they'd crush it with the Koye. I don't know about anyone else. I think Anakin, Harley, Bucky are characters they made so many times and seen them sit on the shelf. So, so that should be so Anakin limited guarantees they sell out. I don't know. And I've said this a lot, so I'm probably going to sound like a broken record. Like, I think there's better ways to do limited figures. I think in art, to their credit, having that like 1 month pre-order window, like, it gives you time to consider it and pre-order. I also have said, and I know it's never going to work this way, but I also would love to see each region get an allocation, because everything goes to Sideshow, and Sideshow doesn't then give their retailers that they distribute to artisan figures. So it's not like, okay, we're going to give like 50 to pop culture, 20 here, whatever. They keep them all for themselves. So I would love there even to just be a model where it's like, okay, 2,000 in the US, 2,000 in Europe, there's this many in Asia, Australia and New Zealand get this many. Like, I think that would be a nice way to kind of even out the playing field a little bit, because we're going to talk about resellers again after Star Wars, because the shenanigans are continuing, people, and I really want people to be mindful and aware, because there's some retailers, or one retailer in particular I'm going to talk about again, that I'm concerned. I'm concerned people are going to be pre-ordering an artisan figure, or they're taking POs for the JazzInc Catwoman. I'm worried people are going to pay deposits for expensive products and not get them. So this is why I would love to see either it's a timed pre-order window, or each region gets an allocation of figures. So if I'm in Australia or New Zealand, I know pop culture, they're getting however many. You have to be in Australia or New Zealand to get it, and I can just buy directly from them. I'd be down for that. Because some people have gone through the sideshow queue to then be told, sorry, we can't send it to you. You're not in a country that we can sell this to. And I would hate to get up in the middle of the night to do that and then be told, sorry, you can't buy it. Like, you are forcing people to go to resellers. And I don't like to pre-order Hot Toys figures with resellers. I've done that with Bucky. This is the first time I've pre-ordered a Hot Toys figure with a reseller. And I went in going, if I get burnt, that's on me. I've got no one to blame but myself. It was the only option I had. So I'm hoping I don't get burnt, but if I get burnt, I take full liability for it. It's my own stupid doing. The problem is they do limited for different multiple regions, making the total release not so limited. Well, and I mean, that happens too. The Clone Wars Anakin that came with the stap had a great looking sculpted head sculpt. Kit bash it with an aftermarket leather outfit, perfection. Kit bashing is always an option, although I was going to say buy them before the tariffs, but I think it's too late for that. I'm sorry, America. Certain characters like Anakin, Hot Toys, and those collectors are more likely to double dip, so that's why I think they do this. Okay, interesting. Ramstein fans here, hello, howdy, I'm just dropping by. I'll catch the replay later on, just in time for Darth Vader Anakin. Boy like high as a kite. Well, lol. Well, have a great day, Ramstein fan, and I hope you enjoy the replay when you get a chance to watch it. Oh my god, it's Randall. Galimera Randall Tikanis. I have 10 Darth Vader Anakins I'm giving away at a special price of $15,000 baby. I'm rich, mate. I almost put in a screenshot of someone in an Australian Facebook group, because when I wasn't sure how much there was going to talk about, I was like, oh, should we do some like chat discussions we could all talk about? Someone just got their artisan Anakin in Australia, and they were trying to sell it for $1,700 Australian. And the majority of the reactions to her post were laughing emojis. And it's an interesting question, because I guess it's a free market and you can sell it what you want it for, what you want for, but also it's like, guys, come on. And what makes me laugh is those people will put up a sales post and go, I'm looking for, this for a collector-friendly price. Makes me laugh. I really want this Anakin / Vader a lot. I think a few people do. Not me. Miss Allison does. Because Miss Allison likes to sit there with her little hair tools and combing the beautiful hair and washing the hair and treating the hair, and I don't have time for that. So, guys, thank you for your views, and thank you for educating me about the fact he does become Darth Vader before the whole helmet get-up happens. So, Darth Vader, Sith Apprentice, what are you getting? Separate rolling eyeballs, which we love. Wool hair implantation, and if you're getting this, I hope yours does not have glue or balding problems, genuinely. I'm hoping we will see an end to these issues very quickly. And my understanding is the Japan exclusive edition has a special card sleeve that's going around the figure. Okay. But look, he's got LED USB lightsaber, which we love. USB all the way, please, Howie. He's got that display base, which I think looks really cool. I don't know if that's a thing or if that's just symbolic. hands, lightsaber. I do think it's cool that they give you the two versions of the lightsaber and the one that has that kind of fanned, flared out effect look. I guess like if they're battling and it's like, I know that's not the noise. Don't come at me. But yeah, that's Anakin. It is what it is. Streaming. Oh God, I love that quote. I sent that quote to someone. Anthony, please tell me you're quoting The Castle and the Kerrigan family, because I love that movie. But I send that photo with telling him he's dreaming, probably second to Homer. He's telling me he's dreaming. Such a good movie, The Castle. 2 ticks. Nowhere to hide on a solo stream. Yes, The Castle. I knew you'd get the reference. I love The Castle. It's such a good movie. It's just a really good Australian comedy. I love it. I love Eric Bana in it as well. He's a crack up. I'm passing on this Anakin, but this would be an amazing to post with Ahsoka to recreate that world between worlds scene. You know, the one, Helen. Yeah, I know one. It's the scene that they eat in town, have a cup of tea, and talk about the world, right? Like that scene. Totally that scene. I'm going to have a sip of water, and then I'm going to talk about the continuation of some reseller shenanigans, because I feel like it needs to be said again. So bear with me for a tick. My tea has gone cold, and that's very upsetting to me because I still had quite a bit left. And tea's delicious. So I'm on the waters now. Guys. So if you remember the unboxing I did of John Wick, I did a reseller PSA. New segment, Tim Tams and Shenanigans. Well, Tim Tams would be applicable. This guy is Australian, embarrassingly as it is. Colin from Accounts is a great Australian TV show. Oh, I remember you mentioning that. The other Australian TV show that I love, and I don't know if the comedy will translate for America, it's called Fisk, Fisk, and I believe the first 2 seasons are on Netflix. It's an Australian comedy with 2 of my favourite comedians, Kitty Flanagan and Aaron Chen, and I love it. It's such a good show. If you can find Fisk, I love it. I love it so much. But guys, on my John Wick unboxing stream, I gave you a heads up about stuff I was saying about One Man's Hobby, aka William Wang, which were causing me concern, particularly as someone who had bought figures from him in the past, had a couple of pending pre-orders with him. I was seeing some stuff happen. And what I was not seeing was people really raising awareness of this. And there's a lot of people who are on YouTube that are in this group. And I know I can't watch every stream. So if other people have given a heads up about it, apologies, but thank you. So this is the website. The website's about 1-year-old. This is the Facebook group that people may be more familiar with. This Facebook group has been around for quite a while. And for a number of years, a lot of people have been buying from a guy called William Wang. He runs this Facebook group. And for the large part, things were okay. Then with time, the guy just started going AWOL. People weren't hearing from him. There was speculation. Where is he? The guy would very rarely ever tell you if he was going off or not going to be available, which in today's day and age, there's no excuse for. It takes 2 seconds to put a message on your Facebook group. It takes about 2 minutes to put a banner on your website. Lord knows all the Chinese retailers do it. They put a banner on their website when it's Chinese New Year to let you know when they're closing and when they're opening again. So there's really no excuse. So this guy, he's got this habit and he's becoming more and more difficult to hear from. And then for close to 2 months at the start of this year. Disappeared, didn't hear from him for a while. Then he goes, Chinese New Year, I'll be back soon. Didn't hear from him at all. And his group was melting down, and the comments that were being shared were next level. And he clearly wasn't even paying attention to his group because people were posting his address and phone number. And they were up there for a decent amount of time before the threads got removed. So this was the post he made in February, which I still feel is a bit flippant. Back on Facebook from self-discovery journey, everyone can relax. Going through messages now and we'll post new arrivals tonight, which he never did. And even after he posted this, he was still gone for a significant period of time. So this is the 22nd of February. And this is what happened. Because at first everyone's like, oh, Will, ha ha ha, you should have told us you were going away. It would stop people getting so anxious. And I'm just going to give you a flavour of those historical things that I shared with you a few weeks ago. So you had people, and this guy with the orange avatar was one of the people at first who was like, oh, that's okay, Will, ha ha ha, glad to see you back, mate. This is a major cause for concern. Every empire that ripped people off and did a runner built their empire by doing the right thing and doing it well first. Will, you have a few $1,000s of my money and I've been messaging you for a week. This isn't cool, mate. You need to stop selling if you can't keep up with messages. The guy had been waiting a month for a reply. Fair play. If someone had thousands of dollars of mine, I would want a Facebook reply within a month. That's unrealistic in today's day and age to take a month to reply to people. These messages also concern me. I'm about to lose a replacement part for a $4,000 bust because he hasn't responded in months. Not only that, I'm the one who needed to contact the bus creator for the replacement and arrange everything because William disappeared a long time ago and replied back once every 2 weeks, best case. This is getting ridiculous, and also watch how your post gets deleted soon. Well, funny, the post stayed up there for weeks because where was William Wang? No one knows. Because when he came back, do you think there was an explanation? Do you think there was an apology? Do you think there was any respect shown for his customers? No, of course not. Don't be silly. This guy, I can relate because William Wang was selling display cabinets as well from China. My cabinet arrived damaged. Was advised the replacement was shipped, only for Will to come back 2 months later to ask for dimensions as he forgot to reply to the vendor. Great business owner. He said it was shipped again, but advised after 2 months later that the shipping agent finally found it lying around, and Will asked that I share half of the shipping cost, $150 each, for a replacement piece, which I was not at fault for. See, I'd be consulting a little bit of Australian consumer law if that was me personally. Finally arrived 2 months after with some minor scratches, but the additional lighting I ordered was missing. Haven't heard back since. This is on top of 2 in-art Superman and 1 all-in Batman, which was ready to ship. That's a palaver. That's 6+ months of having issues with your display cabinet and the guy's forgetting and then making you pay for a replacement part. That's ridiculous. So, 22nd of February, I'm from self-discovery journey. You can all relax, very flippant. 22nd of March. Hi, all. I should addressed most messages. Anyone I missed just sent me a PM and I'll get back to ya. New listing POs will be put up from today. So there's no acknowledgement. There's no anything. There's no care shown for his customers, a lot of which have been in this group for a long time. And it was just so interesting. I was like, wow, you are not even acknowledging anything. And the guy posted this on the 22nd of March. And for a couple of days, he was posting, he posted this and I laugh. He posted 3 sales posts for different pre-orders. So he came back for a few days. Sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. He posted for a few days and I checked. So he made this post. His last post in his group was the 25th of March. So we're 2.5 weeks of nothing from the guy. So this guy has spent less time in his Facebook group running this business then he has a way. Like, he's been so absent. And the reason I'm bringing this up again is because people keep asking on Reddit, one man's hobby, can you tell me your experiences? And people are like, oh yeah, he disappeared for a bit, but he's really reliable. And I'm like, no, he's not. And this is happening more frequently and for longer periods of time. This isn't the scenarios where William might disappear for a week and then he's back. Like, he was gone for close to 2 months. And now he's gone again for like 2.5 weeks. So, 22nd of March. His last post in the group that I checked was from the 25th of March. So, we're now on the 11th of April. Nothing from the guy. So, of course, people in the group are starting to ask questions as they're right, absolutely their right to do. And I've blocked out the names because it's a private group and I'm trying to be respectful of people's privacy. Here we go. A couple days ago. Has William Wang gone AWOL again? It seems so. Still waiting on my Ron Weasley in-art pre-order, and this figure is available on his website. I don't understand. I don't understand either, because I thought all the Ron Weasleys were released. I didn't think people were still waiting on Ron Weasley. That was a small edition number for that figure. And this is what gets me, like, he's got it on his website where he sells things at a higher price, but this guy's pre-ordered, he doesn't have his figure. That's ridiculous. Facebook messages ignored. Again. Inquiries via the website ignored. Again. Ahsoka has been shipping via other sites for a fortnight. WTAF is happening with my order, William Wang. Seems he's missing again. Not the way to run a business. I'm bailing on him. Just over it. I just want what's owed and I'm out. Get your money back and run. Well, this is the thing, because people on Reddit were like, oh, William will give you a refund if you ask. No, he won't. No, he won't, because I tried to get refunds on my pre-orders, and the guy was just playing silly buggers. Oh, I don't understand. Why do you want a refund? Oh, they're not released yet. It's like, I want a refund, because I'm not convinced you're going to keep running this business. I'm not convinced you're not just going to disappear one day with a bunch of people's money, because you don't even have the courtesy and respect to put a message on your Facebook group to say, hey guys, no, I said I'd just be away for a few weeks for Chinese New Year. Something else has come up. I'm away until further notice. Like, that's 2 seconds to do, but he doesn't even do that. And my understanding is the people replying from his website are his family. So of course they're like, no, there's no problem with the business. Everything's fine. No, it's flippin' not. Hi, William. Bad English is to know the figure has been shipped. Waiting for your reply, please. People just going, William Wang, where are you? Question mark, question mark. This radio silence from William is getting out of hand. It sure is. I have a figure I've been waiting for shipping details and at least 5 other pre-order deposits paid. Something must have happened over Chinese New Year, because as for myself, William has always been available on Messenger. Well, not anymore, mate. It's not available anywhere. Oh, sorry, that's a duplicate. William Wang, what's going on? Back to the old ways all over again. F this, better start up the Royal Rumble again. This guy was like, I think this was the guy posting his like phone number all over the group. It was crazy. He was going crazy. Looks like he dips in to let people know he's around and to reassure them, and then goes missing for a few weeks. Wonder if he is in a bit of trouble with money and figures. That's a great question, because it's true. He disappeared for so long. He came back and flooded this group with sales posts, which made me laugh, because all these little buddies were like, see, nothing to worry about here. Will's legit. Ha ha ha, all you people that were kicking up a fuss. Mate, he's come back for 3-4 days and then disappeared again. Has anyone had an invoice for Superior Spider-Man yet? He's been out for some time now, and I'm sure the main batch must have landed. Was told a few weeks ago, then end of last month or early mid this month, but heard nothing. Sent a message but not read yet. I've tried the website before, but they don't reply to me. It took me a month to get a reply to my last Facebook message to William Wang. And then on one of his pre-order posts he did, one of which was the reissue for Mr. Ice. So this guy, hey, 5 days ago, I'll take a Mr. Ice. And then yesterday, hey, I sent you a deposit for Mr. Ice. Are you able to confirm my PO is secured? This is what gets me. Like, people just send him the money because they trust him. He's been around for so long. And I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, you need to be mindful of who you're sending money to, because there's people that literally were doing payment plans with this guy and giving him thousands of dollars, and he was then not even responding to their messages within a month. Like, that orange avatar guy had close to $5,000 sitting with him, and he couldn't even get a Facebook message back from the guy. And this is the thing. He's got his website set up, and he's taking pre-orders for things like the JazzInc Catwoman and some really expensive figures. And I really don't want to see anybody get burnt by this dude. And as I said, I've seen posts on Reddit this week where, again, people are blindly defending the guy. And then when I brought up, because one guy's like, oh, no, he'll give you a refund if you want. And I'm like, no, he won't. Oh, did you ask? I'm like, yeah, dude, I asked. Trust me, I asked. And this is what gets me. I had some So-So Toys figures on pre-order, but I also had a Fire Toys. They were doing a reissue of their Scarlet Witch, apparently. It was meant to have come out 3 years ago, and there's no sign of it, and there's no sign of them as a company. And I wasn't badgering the guy about it, but whenever he'd be like, hey, invoice for this, blah, 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 I'd go, cool, no worries. Oh, by the way, is there any news about the Fire Toys Scarlet Witch? Or I'll check and I'll let you know. And more often than not, did he ever get back to me? No. Sometimes he'd send me a screenshot of an exchange in Chinese, which, how does that help me? It doesn't. But eventually, he was like, oh, I can give you a credit. And I was like, mate, no credit. This is ridiculous. They're clearly not making the figure. Refund me the deposit. And that's the only deposit he was willing to refund for me. So I'm going to try to pursue a chargeback through my bank, because I just don't have faith he's going to even exist as a business by the end of the year. I mean, I'd love to be wrong, and I'd love everyone to get their figures and no one get burned. But I'm just seeing he's been absent from his group this year more than he's been in it. And you can see from the tone, everyone can relax now. He's showing no respect or any courtesy for his customers. And I went on about this and showed so many screenshots on my stream with the John Wick unboxing. If you're like, what's she on about? I don't know what she's talking about. The group was melting down for weeks, and he wasn't even keeping an eye on it. He's not even keeping an eye on it now. Where is the guy? It takes a minute to make a message on Facebook to say something's up, I'm not available. A banner on a website takes no time at all. I know, I manage a website for a living. I can put a banner on that thing in no time. Hey, our phones are down. Hey, we're closed. Hey, we're whatever. There's really no excuse to not communicate with your customers. So I have to question, how much does the guy care about his business, care about the people whose money are sitting in his pocket? I don't know, but I know for me, the So-So figures I had pre-ordered with him, I've now pre-ordered with Giant Toys. I'm trying to get my deposits back. I will never pre-order another thing with that guy again, because I just have no trust. No trust. So please be wary, particularly for limited figures, high-value figures. I don't want to see anyone getting burnt. And I am getting concerned by how many people just blindly stick up for the guy and make excuses, because I don't think there's any excuse for what's been going on. My tea's gone cold. I'm wondering why I got out of bed at all, literally. Why did I get out of bed to do a Star Wars stream? The Star Wars is over, guys. It's okay. Helen can have her sense of humor back. Man, these horror stories are why I'm willing to purchase from Sideshow, even with their markup, just for peace of mind. Mike, it's why I'm happy to wait for pop culture. Like, I know pop culture takes longer, but they're not running away with my money. And if I have an issue, they're dealing with it. I had an issue with some stuff I bought from William, and the customer service was zero, and I gave up trying to get a resolution, because the guy just would, oh, yeah, I'll send you the spare part, never would. Oh, and then he'd like debate with me, and I'm just like going, this is not worth it. So started off really great, and just the way it's gone down, and people are not wanting to acknowledge the way it's gone down, and it's getting worse. I wish more people would give folks a heads up about what's been happening in that group, because I feel like I'm not seeing anybody else talk about this. Or someone else who's reputable with a long history of service. 100%. A proper shop. Cousin Anthony. Hi, cousin. About to drive home, listening to Snack Time with Helen and Allison's take on the releases we got. Thank God it's the weekend. Oh, cousin Anthony, I hope you're doing well. Hope you have a lovely weekend. Thank you for your Star Wars intel. I did quote everything you said to me during the stream. Carlos is here. Hi, Helen. How are you? Sorry, had an appointment to handle since I started a new job on Monday. What did I miss? Carlos, you missed the Tim Tam chat. I wasn't joking on Instagram. It was Snack Time with Helen, and I did multiple Tim Tam slams and spoke far too much about Australian snack food, which probably got me a bunch of people unsubscribing, but it made me happy. I hope you're doing well. Don't text and drive, big opposing channel. That's right, often. Don't text and drive because we need cousin Anthony. People are telling Carlos what he missed out on. Lots of comments. Let me find. Lots of people chatting. That's cool. Often, defo a lot of red flags. There is. And I saw someone try to post about this in the collector base group, and it got deleted very quickly. No one's talking about this. And I still see, like, comments and posts where people will talk about how much money they lost with Toys Wonderland. And in the post that went atomic, like, people talking about having 42 pre-orders with William Wang. People talking about having $5,000 worth of pre-orders with William Wang. And the guy won't even respond to their messages. How many times can you go missing before people start going, hey, maybe something is up with this guy? I don't understand. Helen's serious when she throws around the word flipping. Yeah, I try not to swear on the stream. I try to keep it PG-13 because I never know, like, if people are working at home, do they have kids? Do they have... So I try not to do the swears. Also, because I feel like if I start the swears, I will never stop. So I try to keep it PG-13 because I never know where people may be watching, and I don't want them to have, oh my God, she's being a sweary bear, and I can't listen to her anymore. Great topic, Helen. There are many scammers. Yeah, it makes me so sad. Like, I literally, particularly like one of the admins in Collector Base who lost thousands of dollars to Toys Wonderland. Like, you moderate Justin's group and you got screwed. I don't know how I would feel about that. William has been around for ages and everyone recommends him, but there are loads that have been around for ages and then suddenly disappeared. I spread my orders across a few stores if I can. And that's the thing, Anthony. Like, I feel like there's this handful of people that are just so staunchly loyal to the guy. And I'm going, okay, has he been answering your messages this time? Like, what's the deal? Because if I was so heavily invested with this seller and a month was going by and I couldn't get a message back, I'd be concerned. I was concerned. I was asking him something. We're in the middle of a conversation. We've been going back and forth about something. And then he just disappears for a month. And when he comes back, it's all like nothing happened. It's like he was blipped. Thanos came along and gave a snap and he was Yelena in that lady's bathroom, not knowing that 5 years had passed and Natasha was dead. That's how the guy acts, like he's been blipped. That's not what's happened, sir. Something dodgy is going on, and I don't like it. And the absenteeism, the frequency and the duration is just increasing all the time. And these fanboys who want to defend him, cool. All good, guys. Die on that bridge if you want. But I just get concerned when I see new people finding his website, particularly on Reddit, and all these people, no, he's super reputable. He's fine. No, it's not fine. I didn't realize this guy had a long history of good service. Well, the best thing you can do is exactly get the word out. And that's what I'm trying to do. because I see so many YouTubers in his group and I feel like no one's really talking about it. And that concerns me as well. Only pre-order from Giant Toys or Kit. There are a couple of great sites in the UK as well. I'm the same, Dr. No. Like, my lesson learned. Like, I had been ordering, like, So-So Toys figures from William to get them locked into Aussie dollars. And because Kit doesn't sell them. And now I'm like, nope. Kit or Giant Toys, I don't want to deal with this. 100%. I think these sellers can be given the benefit of the doubt to a point, but just make sure you protect yourself, i.e. don't wait unless you can do a chargeback with your bank anymore. Well, that's the thing. Like he really pushes for bank deposits. He doesn't want PayPal, all this stuff. And as I said, it's fine while it's good, but as that first message said, like, every empire started great, and this is what it feels like. It feels like history repeating of so many other retailers we have seen. Oh, no, it's awesome. I'll catch the replay just to see the Tim Tam slam. Oh, good. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. I really respect you for the swearing. My very young son is usually around, and some of these other streams I got to keep the volume down. No, it's all good. I'm very mindful of that. As I said, I don't know if people are at work, at home, with families, with friends. So I try not to swear. Even when people put swears in the comments, I don't read them. I try to be very mindful of who might be around and who might hear stuff. So no, all good. Natasha dies, spoiler alert. Well, mate, come on. How long ago did Endgame come out? That's no spoiler warning needed. Whenever I pre-order, I try to make sure the time frame is within the PayPal protection window. Oh, that's also another good approach. As I say, I never pre-ordered Hot Toys with William. I really, as I say, aside from Artisan Bucky, which I realize I could get burnt on, and if I do, it's my own fault. I've never pre-ordered a Hot Toys figure with a reseller. It's specifically third-party figures that I was doing. Or buying stuff that was in stock. But as I said, there's just a growing number of instances where figures are coming in stock and people are like, hey, like, all these vendors are selling them. Like, we're not hearing anything from William, like, what's going on? Like, nothing posted about the Artisan Anakin release, nothing posted about this new exclusive Anakin. Meanwhile, on Jeremy Cars's group, he's got like 250 people trying to get that from him. And I think it's people knowing, don't put your money in William Wang's pocket, man. I'm not sure he's going to get you anything. So again, I just want to raise awareness and remind people, because I saw a couple of things on Reddit, and even when I was sharing my view on the guy, people were trying to say that wasn't the case. And I'm like, guys, I have been in this group for a long time and I have seen the decline. Hope I'm wrong, but I would rather put this out there and be wrong than not say something and a bunch of people pre-order something really important to them or really high value and get stung. So I'd rather speak up than not say anything. If I'm wrong, so be it. I'm happy. Some YouTubers go out of their way to swear on their streams, and I have little ones around me. So yeah, I don't think it's. There's so many words in the English language, and I'm also a bit. Do you want to say adult themes? Like, when people want to talk about like some adult themes and activities about themselves, I'm like, I don't need to hear this. I don't want to know. I'm here to talk about the collecting. So I try to keep it PG-13, and I'll talk about snacks, but I feel like that's a pretty PG topic. No one's going to be offended by Tim Tams, I hope. But yeah, no, I try to make this available to everyone. What the whole group is starting to pull their money through their banks and just slam the door shut before he runs away with their money. Well, I know some people did get refunds. He didn't want to give me a refund. He was all playing dumb of, I don't understand. The figures aren't released yet. Why do you want a refund? I'm like, mate, look at your group. Like, really? Like, are you shocked I'm asking for a refund? So, as I said, the one figure that he was trying to give me as a store credit, because it's clearly never being made, I pushed and got a refund. The others I'm going to pursue through my bank because I have nothing to lose, and I just don't have faith that the guy's going to deliver the product for me whenever So Toys releases these figures, which might be never. Mad Planet 23, hello. Hi, Helen and chat. Great topic. Getting scammed is not a good feeling. Also, thanks for trying not to sweat. All good. All good. I'm happy that people are okay with that. Isn't cursing one of the things you get demonetized for? Ooh, I don't know. I thought it was also talking about weapons and certain topics. Costa, you're sounding like an Australian there, mate. You only get demonetized if the curse is in the first 30 seconds of video. Oh, really? That's good to know. I'm learning, Costa. Costa is the guru. Exactly, Helen. I'm only interested in 6-scale figures and people's snacking habits. Have fun with the rest of the things I don't need to know about. Yeah, some of the comments and chats that happen, I'm just like, can we not? Particularly some people's hot takes on women and dating. I could really do without, thank you very little. Anthony, a while ago it came out that a UK Star Wars seller had previously been convicted and imprisoned for selling fake goods. Wow. He still had ride or die fans, though, who kept saying how great he was. That's the thing. Like, it's the same with William. There's this, like, handful of people. Like, when he came back on the 22nd of February, they're all like, see, told you so, all these people. Woo. And I'm like, dude rocked up for like 3 or 4 days because I went and clicked on his profile. When was his last post in the group? It was the 25th of March, and I remember that because that's also Greek Independence Day. And we're at the 11th of April, and people are tagging him. People are making those negative comments again, and the guy's nowhere to be seen. No sales post, no anything. So I'm just sitting here going, where there's smoke, there's fire. This is happening too frequently. The guy has been AWOL most of this year. Like, people, I don't get why they're defending this guy, seriously. Oh, hi everyone. At the end of the day, if you haven't provided info or shipped my product, I do not want a store credit from a store that has just stiffed me. How is that not understood? Well, he's not even a proper store. But this is the thing that got me, because he's like, oh, I offered you a credit. And I'm like, I don't want a credit. I don't want a credit. I don't want to buy anything else from you. I want my money back. And that was the only deposit he would give me back. And I'll be honest, if he does get the figures and sends me an invoice, am I going to pay it? I don't know. I don't know that I want to give the guy any more of my money. We'll see. Reseller shenanigans over. Again, if you see one of these posts of people going, oh, is One Man's Hobby or William Wang reputable? Point them to this stream, or maybe just say, guys, the guy's not had a great track record in 2025. Let's try to help our fellow collectors not end up in a terrible situation where they're out money or a figure or incapable of getting any customer service from the guy after buying something expensive. Pop collectibles are bad too. Yeah, no, I talked about them in my original PSA during the John Wick unboxing, Costa, because I had seen a few comments on Reddit. And I feel like I would hope people know that, like, pop collectibles are great if you're a YouTuber with a big channel, and if you're not so great. But no one is talking about One Man's Hobby / William Wang. And that's what concerns me. I'm like, I don't get why no one was talking about the way that group was absolutely imploding and all the stories that people were sharing, and nothing was being said. And someone tried to post a thing in Collector Base and it got deleted so quickly. I'm like, what's going on here? I don't get it. Why is he some endangered species, some special koala that's getting protected? Like, it's Shonky Town. Those other diehards that will stick up for the guy and say that everybody is wrong, yet they will look foolish when the guy suddenly disappears. I agree, Carlos, 100%. They have a lot of blind faith in the guy. Batman collectibles, I'm struggling right now with the 1/6 customizer, and I'm about to shame but I know they'll blow back. I've got receipts, don't answer for weeks, and continuously says shipping next month. Yeah, I know. Customizers are tricky. They really are. I used an Australian customizer for a figure repair job, which I thought would be quick and easy. And the guy, I just wouldn't hear from the guy. And I literally reached the point where it was like a year later, and I was like, dude, it's been a year. Like, can we just come on? It's hard because those, and I feel like a lot of the customizers and artists really don't give you a realistic time frame for how long things will take. Like, you know, I remember once contacting like Jackson Zhu about a custom cape, and he's like, yeah, 2-3 weeks. And 2-3 weeks was 2-3 months. And I'm patient. Like, if it's 2-3 months, just say 2-3 months. Don't say 2-3 weeks to get the deposit, and then you're difficult to get a hold of. So I'll be honest, for things like that, where I can buy it through 1/6 Kit as a gateway, I totally do that. But yeah, yeah, it can be difficult. It can be difficult with the customizers, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Helen does the walk by not cursing, yet she keeps repeating William Wang's last name. Well, it's his name. It's an Asian name. I can't change the guy's name. And that's what he posts us on Facebook. Like, if people see his name, I want them to know that's the guy. People only learn once they get burnt. Yeah, and I really don't want to see people get burnt, because I feel like people haven't recovered from the Toys Wonderland burning. I don't want to see a bunch of people that have then moved on to this guy and then they get burnt by William / one man's hobby. So thank you for indulging me on that topic. Not as indulgent as a delicious Tim Tam, but anyway, guys, Black Suit Tobey released today. I was totally surprised. I was thinking this was going to be 100% a week of Star Wars. But Howie Claus, you know, he works in mysterious ways, and he thought, what better time to drop Black Suit Tobey Maguire than during Star Wars? I can be patient. I just purchased something from eBay, and guy messaged saying he's out of town, and if it's okay to ship 5 days later, of course, just tell me. I'll leave you as long as you alone, as long as you communicate. I think that's the problem, Batman Collectibles. A lot of these customizers don't communicate, and the guy I was dealing with was in Australia, and I had been super, relaxed about the whole thing. And even before he'd finished, he was like, oh, hey, actually, can you send me the money I've got to buy some leather, blah, blah, blah. And I did. And that's what got me, like, because he'd send me now and then an update of, oh, hey, I'm sewing this, I'm doing that. And then I'd hear nothing for months. And I'd be like, oh, hey, just checking, how's it going? And it would take ages to even get a reply, and there was always an excuse. And that's what gets me. I feel like most people will be reasonable if you communicate with them and if you tell them and give a realistic time frame. Like, as I said, like, if something's going to take 3 months, then say, best case scenario, 3 months, maybe 6 months. And then people know to set their expectations. Like as I said with the capes from Jackson, like, don't say 2 or 3 weeks if it's not going to be 2 or 3 weeks, because I will email you after maybe 3 or 4 weeks to go, where is it? And don't just say soon. Soon is not an answer. Carlos, the Spidey figure looks phenomenal. Unfortunately, it's coming at the wrong time since I have a few pre-orders to pay off. Need the wallets to breathe. Yeah, and look, that's fair enough. But although Carlos got some cool figures this week, so I think you've still got a lot to be happy about. Do you think these YouTubers promoting these resellers have a responsibility, or they just haven't paid attention to the rainy movies? Good question. Look, I know a lot of people have some views about the Spider-Man, and there was a few people high-fiving that they did it. It's improved, and there was a few people that were still unhappy with Toby. Do your own research is hardly get out of jail free card. 5,000%. As well, like, because you can edit your YouTube videos. So even your old videos, you could go back and cut out. I got mine from, it's very easy to go into YouTube editor and slice. Will the video have a second that looks a bit janky? Yeah. But do I think it's better than pushing dodgybrothers.com collectibles? Yeah, I do. I have so many views about that topic, but anyway. All YouTubers have responsibility. 5,000% Costa. 5,000%, particularly the bigger channels. Like, the bigger you are, the more responsibility you have. And I think you've got someone that led a lot of people up SH you-know-what creek. And as I said before, like, a mod in his own group is left thousands of dollars out of pocket. And me, the Greek in me, I'm like, I would not still be your friend if the shop you kept pushing took thousands of dollars of my money. We would not be friends anymore. That door would be shut. Do not call me. I won't call you either. 100%. I also just think it's so disrespectful to your audience and to your collectors. Like, people who review stuff and say it's amazing, or people who will omit issues. Like, I loved Topo, but when I did that review of that Bruce Wayne suit, like, it wasn't great. I couldn't ignore the issues I was seeing. I'd sat with that figure for a week, and I was like, this body is terrible. The fact the body is not compatible with the DX19 head sculpt is ridiculous. And I was like, I can't in good faith tell you the Topo one is better than the Kento one when I don't believe that. Sorry, the one that's a year old is better. Like, I heard someone say, like, latest is greatest, but it's not always. It's not always. And this is my whole thing. My whole approach to this YouTube thing for myself personally is I'm just going to say it how it is in my world. You can agree, disagree, that's cool. I'm never going to be like, no, you've got to have the same opinion as me. If you've got a different opinion, no drama. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you something is the best version if I don't believe that to be true. If you've got them both and you see it differently, cool. Like, get the one you prefer. But I know with that review I did a couple weeks ago, I was like, I can't not point out the glaringly obvious issues with this Topo figure. Oh, Costa with some Greek swears. Thank you. It gave me a laugh. Thankfully, I've never reordered from these scamming resellers as well. I mean, I'm seriously... I think after Artisan Bucky, my reselling purchases will be over. Have a great weekend, Helen, Costa, and chat. You too, Valkyrie. Thank you for coming to hang out. I appreciate it. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Can't believe next weekend is Good Friday. That's crazy, guys. Okay, Black Suit Tobey. Let's talk about it. Photos dropped today. As I said, was not expecting this. I know a lot of people have had views on this guy. They were not happy with the body. They thought it looked too skinny. They didn't think it showed the right amount of musculature. And from what I was seeing, there was people that were happy with some of the improvements that have been made. And I guess the way I would summarize it is from the neck down, people seem to be happy. From the head up, maybe not so much. I know I spoke to Iron Logan because he's a cool dude, and also he is a really big Spider-Man fan, and I had said to him, what do you think? He thought the body still might look a little bit skinny for him. I really like it, and I have to say, I really like this Toby head sculpt. I think this Toby head sculpt is really nice, and I think it's probably a shame that this is probably the better look, because I can understand, I don't know if you can't see it with that photo, but with the mask head sculpt, there is quite an unfortunate stitching seam, which I can understand people do not like. I did see some people commenting on the lenses that they didn't like it. I like the Bully Maguire head sculpt. I think it looks really cool. And it was interesting because Topo did tease that they are doing the black dress suit for Toby to go with this head sculpt. I'm not sure how that will exactly work because this head sculpt does have that little bit of the Spider-Man suit at the bottom. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue for people or not, but something to be mindful of. And hopefully Topo makes that body compatible with this head sculpt because Lord knows they didn't do that with the DX-19 and their Bruce Wayne suit. If I read a review, regardless of the reviewer, and they tell me what store they got it from, I always do some checking as a responsible adult. If a reviewer knows of issues, I expect them to say so. Well, I mean, 100%, you do need to do some due diligence, but we know there was a lot of issues with Toys Wonderland that certain people didn't want to admit to and acknowledge, and they just delete it from my group. I don't want to mention, I don't want to talk about it, la 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 la, head in the sand. And for me, I'm like, that's not cool. To me, that's not cool. It's not. And as I say, people that are mods in their group that they know got burnt. And I'm like going, as I said, if that was me, we would not be friends. We would not be friends. This looks good from the neck up, and I really don't mind the updated Venom head. I'm just not a fan of this version of the black suit. That's fair enough. Iron Logan likes them thick. Yeah, he does. He likes a thick Spider-Man. I feel like it's another Artisan Anakin. People upset over small stuff. I got both on order. I'm happy with the way they both came out. Look, some people are just not happy. And it's a great point, Mr. J, because when I was seeing these photos, there was a part of me that wondered because some people were complaining about some details. And I can understand the seam on the masked head. I can understand. I think that's very unfortunate because I'm like, if there had to be a visible seam, could you not do it on the back of the head or something that's not as obvious? Hopefully I've got a photo that shows that. But I'm also going, there's a section of the community who want pinpoint perfection with details. And in my view, if that's you need a custom figure. You don't need a mass-produced hot toy. You want a custom figure. But the thing that gets me is a lot of these people that nitpick, they don't want to pay $2,500 US for a custom figure. Like, they want the 100% accuracy with the Hot Toys figure. And I know I'm a little bit different. I've always said if something looks good to me, I don't care if there's little inaccuracies. I am not dying in a ditch over where the cape clips are on Batman. I know that really upsets some people. I have a whole bunch of Batman figures with cape clips in the wrong spot, and that does not diminish my appreciation of my collection one iota. But this is my thing. If you're wanting that pinpoint accuracy in every minute detail is 100% correct, then I don't think Hot Toys is the right thing for you. I think you want custom figures that are going to cost you a bomb. And that's the thing. A lot of people, they're not going to want to pay that money for a figure. Because if you're dropping $2.5K per figure, you're not having a big collection. It's unless you're rich. And if you are, kudos to you. Enjoy all your custom figures. Articulation looks good on this too, so I guess you could have this in one of Toby's horrible dance moves. Well, I mean, the thing you need to be mindful of is the suit. Because some of the poses I saw, I was like, I don't know how forgiving this material will be. Like, I know some of the newer Spider-Man suits, people have said, if you pose it and then put it back into a neutral pose, it will kind of recover a little bit. I don't know if this material will be the same. So I liked these photos because you got to see the suit with a lighter background. Like, there was quite a few photos that had very dark backgrounds. As I said, some people still thinking this looks a bit skinny. I can see some improvements. As I said, I think the musculature is a little bit more defined. Are the legs a bit skinny? I don't know. But I really like that Toby head sculpt. I do think it's a really nice head sculpt. How that will work with the Topo suit, I don't know. But I love that someone is giving you that suit. So you're not wasting a head sculpt, because I think this is too nice of a head sculpt to just sit in a box and not be displayed. And I have to say, that photo on the left, you're not really seeing the seam from that. So if the seam is upsetting to you, I think it's about positioning it in a way that you can't see that seam. But seriously, like I do like the look of this. As I said, I'm not the person that needs the lenses to be 5,000% accurate. I think this diorama base is pretty cool. I know there's some Venom effects that people have various views on. Are they accurate to the movie? Are they not? I don't know. Does that upset you? Does it not? I don't know. I think the posing potential you have with them is pretty cool. And I think the bloggers have done a really nice job of incorporating the base and these accessories in the display to create some interesting scenes. So I have to say, I really did enjoy going through the blogger photos of this one. Saw in-hand pics and didn't look as skinny. I think it's the pose that makes it look like that. Actually, it's funny you say that, Anthony, because I did see some footage of, I think it's TWN Collection and Azuki Toys and Figure Hideout. And I agree. I didn't think it looked as skinny there. So sometimes maybe it's angles, maybe it's the perception of how it's been shot. I'm not sure. As I say, the seam and its placement, I do think is a little bit unfortunate. I'm not seeing anything else as a dramatic crime against Spider-Man, unlike some people. Yes, the TW issue is a bit extreme, and I agree, not cool. But going forward, I hope this doesn't happen for anyone again, YouTubers and fans alike. I agree, but that's also why I just felt like I had to give that PSA, because I'm still seeing people ask the question and people not speaking up to go, actually, this guy's track record of late has not been particularly fantastic, so tread with caution. So that's why I'm trying to spread the word. Pinpoint perfection costs. Correct. It costs a lot of those freedom bucks, and this is what gets me. It's like, we want the Ferrari, but we want to pay for like a little Kia. Like, these things don't mix. If you want fancy, high-end accuracy, pinpoint perfect, you got to drop the dollary dues, and it's not cheap. And this is the thing, like, I like Hot Toys, and I mean, do we want things to be accurate? Sure, but I'm also going, I want it to look good. And if there's a couple of things that are slightly different to what I see on the screen, I don't know. I feel like I'm forgiving of these things. I'm not, as I said, cape clips on Batman, little things like that. I just enjoy the figure for what it is. I don't get so hung up on, it needs to, the angle of Bruce Wayne's nose is 3 degrees too big. I literally saw that once on someone's a customizer's thing, and I was like, dude, seriously, 3 degrees on a 6 scale figure, like, can we not? I agree, not every figure will be perfection, but when it comes to 1/6 scale, these are pretty close to perfection. Man, I think the baseline is really high. Like, the quality of the figures we're getting and the prices people pay in the US, like a Hot Toys figure in Australia is like, and I know exchange rates, but I live in Australia. I'm paying Australian dollars. Like, I'm not getting anything for under $500. If I was paying $300 for this, like I used to, I'd be absolutely stoked. I still struggle to understand the seam down the middle of the mask. Can't they put the fabric over the head like a sock? Look, I can understand needing to have it sort of stretched to have it in place. I just wonder, is there somewhere else the seam could be? Like, could it not be at the back of the head in some regard, just to not be as obvious? Because on some angles, it was very obvious. Like this photo in the middle, if you were looking at that zoomed in, you would see that seam there, which is really unfortunate, because I think it's Spider-Man. You want him in a swinging dynamic pose. His head's going to be tilted. And I think unless you've got him on like the top shelf of your display, you're probably going to be looking at that seam. So I can get how that is annoying to people. I can totally appreciate that. I agree, there's a bunch of 6 scale collectors that are overboard with the perfection point. Like I said, this spider looks really good. Yeah, I think so too. I'm not that picky. If I can look at the sculpt alone and immediately know who that is, I'm usually good. Da Vinci's not sculpting these people. Others are really looking for perfection. Yeah, as I said, I'm like, if you want that 100% accurate perfection, that's a custom figure. And that's a lot more than your Hot Toys figure, because people are complaining about paying in the 300s. What you want is probably something that's going to cost you in the 2,000 to 3,000. So for what you're getting, and some people are, oh, I shouldn't have to pay to get. It depends. Like some of these picky details that most people don't care about, like if that bothers you, then yeah, you probably do have to pay to get something better. Different people, different standards, different levels of pickiness. Oh, didn't want to go that far. Benny, hello, I'm late to the stream. Has Miss Allison wanted to talk about Cassian Andor? Yeah, look, Miss Allison, that's so an hour and a half ago. After Snack Chat, we breezed through the Star Wars. It was quick and not as painful as I thought it would be, so I'm quite happy to have survived Star Wars Hour. Expecting pinpoint perfection from Hot Toys mass-produced figures at the current price point is pure fantasy. Yeah, 100% it is. The base and Venom effects would look cool with the Black Suit game figure and Advanced Suit. Oh, it's true. And this is the thing, like, I do love a diorama base. And I think, a little plug for Iron Logan, our friend, and also Cousin Anthony at Figure Posing Channel. I love having these pieces because then you can use them with other things in your display. And I think Iron Logan does that really quite well in his different posing showcases. I actually just watched his Spiderman Ultimate posing tutorial with all the No Way Home figures. And that was incredible. If you're a Spider-Man fan, go check that out after the stream. I watched that on my TV because some videos you've got to watch on the big screen. And I was really impressed with the poses he came up with. But I'm the same. Like, I put the Pattinson Batman diorama with my Bale Man in that display. And that's the cool thing. Once you've got these pieces, you can just use them wherever it suits your collection. But yeah, I think it's cool. Some people are, oh, why the Venom, blah, blah, blah. As I say, I feel like if you don't feel it's accurate, don't use it. But I'm looking at the way the bloggers incorporated those effect pieces with the pictures, and I think it's really cool. Like, why not just get creative and invent your own scene? It doesn't have to be something necessarily from the movie. If you want to go out there and make something of your own mind's creation, like, why not do that? Like, I love when people make their own teams of people. Like, hey, this is just a bunch of characters and they're all wearing black stealth suits and I've put them together. Like, I think that's cool. It's something unique to your display that no one else has, and I think that's awesome when people do that. Clinton Martin, howdy folks. Howdy Clinton, how are you doing? Happy Friday. Deadpool Red Suit as well. Hello to you. Happy Friday. Thank you for dropping by. Blurred Dad Life, I'm with you, Helen. I don't get that level of scrutiny. If people want perfect, commission a custom. 5,000%. 100% perfection involves a meet and greet with the actor. I'm sure some people would want that. Master Darcy, lol, just jumped on 2 and missed the Star Wars. Damn, I was insightful. I knew the lore. I knew the characters. I knew the previous versions of the figures. We laughed. We cried. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I'm sorry you missed it. I'm in the minority that wants the Spider-Man 3 Venom. I hope they add to this line. Good old Topher Grace. Who knows? Who knows with Hot Toys? Like, it's kind of funny because, I mean, is he one of the few villains that didn't make a cameo in No Way Home? Because I do have to say, I did like and appreciate the way Hot Toys tackled some of those villains as diorama bases. I think that was cool. But yeah, it's interesting. I do wonder if they might go back and do that. I don't know. What's old is new, but as I said, I like the look of this, and I mean, Toby is my Spider-Man, and I think I've said on this stream a few times, like, having seen so many Spider-Man figures in Hong Kong, I'm like, damn, I have like, they're cool, and I probably didn't appreciate them as much as I should have. And I look at these Tobys and I'm like, oh, do I? Should I? But then I remind myself I have no room. But seriously, I think this looks really nice. Kit bashing is so much fun and my favourite part of collecting. Me too. I don't think enough people do it. And I actually, I said that to, I was saying that with Iron Logan the other week because I had kit bashed my Stealthy Elena and then I did my Nurse Joker. And I kind of miss having that project because you're not always just focused on buying the latest thing. Like, it's so nice having something that you work towards. And honestly, I think my next thing is going to be, I'm trying to pose my Topo John Wicks and I'm not loving the feet. So I'm thinking I need to do some body swapping or some kind of modification. So that might be my next project after I clean this room as well. Mike, sorry I have to head out, but great rest of the stream and we can see you next week, Helen. Thanks for coming by, Mike. Hope you have a lovely weekend. And if you give the Tim Tam Slam a go, let me know. And hide your Tim Tams better next time because your friends will eat all the Tim Tams. That's my PSA. And if you have a family, this is going to sound terrible, buy Tim Tams, but maybe keep a sneaky little packet in your desk drawer or somewhere where you can just have, it's been a hard day, you can have a cup of tea and a couple of Tim Tams and just relax, and no one needs to know that you've got your secret stash of Tim Tams. Just, I find the vegetable crisper section of the fridge is a great place to hide food. I have hazelnut Twix from Hong Kong, which were amazing, that I have been stashing and trying to not eat in one go. It's back of the vegetable drawer. No one's looking there. It's an amazing spot to hide snack food. AKA Eric Foreman, 100%. And I, yeah, it's funny to think, oh, you were then Venom, but you're also the dude from that 70s guy, that 70s show. I recently picked up Kate Bishop and I just got Endgame Hawkeye Ronan yesterday. Do you think we'll get Clint from the actual Hawkeye show? Great question, Blurred Dad Life. I got Kate Bishop. I got her in Hong Kong. I think she's great. At this stage, I don't think we're getting Clint from Hawkeye. And I think I'm in a scenario where Marvel doesn't really carry costumes across multiple shows. So if he appears again, will he be wearing that same outfit? I don't know. Like, I know some people have been commissioning customizers to make the shirt and trying to kit bash their own. I don't think we will. I think too much time has passed. And this is the thing, like, it's quite an interesting scenario that we're in, where you've got movies and Disney Plus series where the title characters aren't getting a figure. Hawkeye didn't get a figure. Ms. Marvel didn't get a figure. The Marvels didn't get a figure. Even like Nick Fury. Like, I just thought they'd give us a Nick Fury from Secret Invasion or even the Marvels. Nothing. So it's quite interesting. So I personally, I don't think we're going to get it. I think some people have also used the Civil War version of Clint, given it's kind of got that purple top look. But yeah, I don't. So I think picking up the Endgame one's probably not a bad idea. Who did kind of have that costume in the show. But if you're really wanting that look, like maybe look up in some of the Facebook groups to see the people that are getting this shirt commissioned, and if you like the look of it, maybe that's something that you can get a part of. Hi, hello Akira, how are you? Happy Friday. And or neither. I don't know what that comment's about often. There are rumors of Hawkeye season 2, but your point is good. If there's a season 2, it will not be the same costume. I feel like it very rarely is. And sometimes if the costumes carry over at the start, by the end of the series, they'll probably be in a new costume. And the Disney Plus special tends to be second last episode will reveal a costume. So yeah, I just don't put faith in it, to be honest. Like, it's been, how many years has it been since the Disney Plus show? I feel like it's 2 to 3 years. And it surprised me because I really thought for Hawkeye, I would have loved to have seen a return of the 2-pack. Give us Clint, give us Kate, give us Lucky the Pizza Dog, all in one. I think that would have been a clever way to do it. But even if we see Kate again, is she going to be in that same outfit? I don't think so. I think it'll change in some way. But you can have Kate with Yelena like I did, because I absolutely loved Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld together. I thought they were awesome. Gonna have a quick water break, guys, because my God, 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is a long one. But it will be interesting to see even what the future of that character is, because obviously Jeremy Renner, he's still recovering. I'm assuming still recovering. That big accident he had, like, that would take a long time to bounce back from. So when we see him back on our screens, and in what capacity and what does that look like? I don't know. 100% a Hawkeye 2-pack would have been brilliant. I think so. I would have been down for that. I think it would have been cool. Clint, Kate, and Lucky the Pizza Dog would have been awesome. As I said, that, like, I'm still like, I would have loved a Miss Marvel figure. As I said, like, even not doing another Nick Fury kind of surprises me, because it's been a long time since they've done a Nick Fury. And I feel like some of those figures have had issues with, like, the coat flaking. I could have pictured a world where the only figure made from the Marvels was Nick Fury. Like, I'm not even joking. Howie Claus works in mysterious ways, guys. So as I said, Black Suit Tobey, I think it looks good. The in-hand footage I've seen seems pretty encouraging. As I said, I can understand the upset about the seam on the head. Some of the other finer details I don't really understand the upset about, but I know I'm a little bit different to a lot of collectors. Carlos, let's all hit the like button for our dear friend Helen. There are 25 likes and 50 people watching. Also, if you haven't subscribed, do so now. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate it. I did hit 3,000 subs last week, which blows my mind. So thank you to everyone who subscribed. And 50 people, maybe drop the like button, because, you know, I've been here for 2 hours and 16 minutes. I've taught you about Tim Tam slams, which are delicious. US Target is where you can get them at a good price. So if you're watching and I'm keeping you entertained on a Friday, cheeky like, always appreciated by me. Winter Soldier was the last, like, Fury. Hot Toys leaves a lot of money on the table. They do. And that Winter Soldier one, like, it was nice. I thought it was a nice head sculpt. Like, if you redid him and had, like, a proper, like, leather jacket or a nicer quality material. Yeah. Even with Captain Marvel, like, they could have done, like, the younger Nick Fury from Captain Marvel. Like, it really gets me that he's in so many things and they just haven't gone back to that well. It's probably been 10 years since they've made a Nick Fury figure, which is crazy to me. Greetings all from New York. Well, greetings to you, Benjamin. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing well. Akira, hit that like button. 100%, guys. Hit the like button if you're here. I would appreciate it. And at one point, this was the only non-Star Wars news. So thank you, JazzInc. I appreciate you dropping something Batman-related, because as we know, Helen loves the Batman. I feel like I'm missing out. We don't get Tim Tams in the UK. You get penguins, though. And my understanding is a penguin is similar to a Tim Tam. I have never had a penguin, but I have had people from the UK tell me this. I just don't know if penguins have the range of flavours that we have for Tim Tams, because I feel like Tim Tams just have a lot of line extensions of different flavours that are either limited or become permanent. I want those Carol costumes from the Marvels. Oh, me too. I really liked her with that kind of punk hair, and it kind of looks like the Solo suit but was a little bit different. I didn't like that suit she ended the movie with. It felt very dull to me. But that first one, like, I was in. Like, if they made Kamala, Monica, and Carol, I was in. I was in for all of the Marvels, and they gave me nothing. And it really upsets me. And the show version of Miss Marvel. Any Miss Marvel, man. Seriously. I want Kamala. I want Kamala, please, Howie. And Okoye. Howie, do it. So JazzInc posted some progress photos of their Danny DeVito penguin. Not going to lie, would I have liked some photos of the Catwoman? Yes, I would. I feel like we are hearing a lot about everything bar the Catwoman. So I am sitting here going, have they finalized the body? Have they finalized the material of the Catwoman? I don't know. But they were showing us the head sculpts, and I have to say, these are looking really nice. These are the Sean Dabbs head sculpts that have been painted by Viola. That seems to be a combo that works together quite a bit. They actually did the head sculpt for the Bloodsport Jean-Claude Van Damme figure that we talked about last week, which I didn't realize at the time. When I looked at the details of the figure, I was like, oh, that's a Sean Dabbs and Viola combo as well. Head sculpts are looking lovely. I cannot argue that. I'm going to be a broken record with this, and I'm just going to say these photos are nice, but these are hand painted by artists, and we don't yet have a sense of what a JazzInc head sculpt that's produced in a factory in China looks like. So while these look amazing, originally there was talk of pre-orders opening in April. I don't know if that's still the case, but there is still a part of me that wishes I have seen more of the Catwoman and the product that was being produced in China before we were potentially getting a pre-order for the Danny DeVito penguin. Head sculpt looks nice. The detail, the hair, amazing. But as I said, these are handmade by artists. What are we getting from a factory in China? We don't know. And even it's interesting because the clothing, so we can see here the sort of undersuit of the sewer look. Or is that the sewer look or the mayor look? No, I think it's the sewer look. And then we've got the sewer look and the mayor look. These clothes were made by G-Wiz Customs because they did a post to say they were doing it. And G-Wiz Customs is a very expensive customizer. These look great. We're not getting clothes made by G-Wiz Customs. So again, I would like to see more progress on the Catwoman and how that's going in the Chinese factory before another pre-order, which is going to be expensive. And I can understand why it's expensive, multiple head sculpts, rooted hair. Totally appreciate that. They're not on the scale of Hot Toys as far as production to have the economy of scales. Appreciate that. I guess I really expected us to have a bit more sense of what a final production piece was going to be compared to prototype before the next figure was coming. And again, as I say, I know I probably sound like a broken record, and there's probably other people that are like, you got nothing to worry about. Yoast is great, customer service, and I get that. Everything I've heard of customer service for JazzInc has been very positive. But as I said, something that's made in a factory in China is not going to have the same level of paint application as something that Viola is painting by hand. And I think we've seen that. Like, if anybody else is like me and pre-ordered a head sculpt from RCN Studios, that's what they discovered. They did head sculpts for Andrew Garfield, Sebastian Stan, and Keanu Reeves as John Wick. And they showed prototype pictures and they looked great. And then the photos from the factory looked horrible. They did not look great. And then they had to go back to the drawing board and find another factory. So it's easier said than done. Just saying. As I said, I could totally be alone on this hill, and if I am, that's fine. I want to know what's happening with Catwoman. I want to start seeing how are these works from customizers, which are very high quality, high end artists. How are they being translated when they're made on a bigger scale in a factory in China? And I think that's a valid question to have. Figure Love's here. Hello, Helen and chat. Hello to you, sir. How are you? Happy Friday. Glad you could join us. Penguins are a great substitute for Tim Tams. I'm also dying for this penguin to be released as well. Looks incredible. That's a nice segue. Very nice. Well played. Agree 1,000%. Collectors need more insight into the production pieces we're buying, not the prototype. That's my thing. And this is the thing. Like, I wasn't sure who was making the outfit because I did see these photos and my interest is in the male look for the penguin. And I was like, these clothes look nice. Like, this is impressive. And then later in the day, I saw the post from the Gee Whiz Customs Facebook page. And I know what they charge for stuff. Like, when they were doing Jessica Jones figure, which, you know, it's like jeans and a shirt and a jacket. That back then was close to $800 US. So they're not cheap. They're not making this outfit for you and me. They're making the outfit that's then going to get sent to China for people in a factory to try to replicate. That's not this. That's not this. Carlos, thank you. 42 likes and 48 watching. Chat, the 6 of you remaining need to smash the like button. Also get Helen to 5K. I had someone leave a comment going, like, next stop 100K subscribers. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm at 3. Like, no pressure to get to 100K. My God, I don't know that I'd ever get there. I feel like I'd be having to do a lot more different kind of a YouTube to be getting to 100K. But I appreciate it. As Carlos said, if you're watching now or on the replay, maybe hit the like button, maybe subscribe if you hadn't. Let me know how much snack chat you do or don't want me to have, because if you want me to cut out the snack chat, I will. I figure people, I don't know, maybe like hearing about stuff in Australia, maybe not. I'm trying to be a streamer of the people, so if there's something you want to see more or less of, whether you're speaking now live or in the comments or like you can message me on Instagram, I try to be really mindful of feedback that people give me and I try to incorporate that into my streams because I want this to be an enjoyable time for everyone. Anthony, totally agree. We need to see more of Catwoman. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like we've had a lot of updates on Batman, the animated series figure and the body, which was interesting. Like, even following that, because the first image was shown was a very muscular body, which didn't match the aesthetic of Batman, the animated series. And it was interesting because I felt, I don't know, maybe I was reading too much into the exchanges, but I felt like there was maybe a little bit of resistance from JazzInc about doing a custom body. But my whole thing is, if you're going to push where the brand for accuracy and if you're going to point to things that other people have made and say they're not accurate or they're not scaled correctly, if people are telling you the body's not the right body, like, I think you have to cop that on the chin and modify. And to their credit, they've gone back and they've done a few iterations and people seem a lot happier with it. But the first version of that body did kind of surprise me. Not going to lie. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, we're in April. I think Catwoman is meant to start shipping in Q1 2026. So there's still time. But some people are going to be getting deluxe versions that will have, like, is it 6 rooted head sculpts? Like, that takes time to do. And this is where I'm like going, I don't necessarily need to see the photo, but even a text update to say we finalized the body, because they were doing the custom body for Catwoman and people had all the feelings about the proportions. And I feel like when I've seen people ask about the suit, that it doesn't seem like they're set on a material choices yet. So given the intricacies of that suit and all the detail that goes into it, like, there's a lot that needs to be done. And I would have thought if you're trying to release in Q1, Would you not be at a prototyping stage with the factory? Maybe not. I don't know. Do I know anything about production? 100% I do not. But I was really surprised to hear on, I think, who was it with? An interview I saw of Yost, which I know is not his most recent one, but whatever his one before that was that maybe with, I'm struggling to remember who that was with. Apologies. I can't remember if that was Lael's channel or if that was Shane's channel, but there was a conversation, or maybe it was an update on JazzInc's own channel. I'm not sure. And there was a lot of talk about things they were working on, and a lot of April 2025 was thrown out for PO dates, including this one, which really surprised me. Really surprised me, because I do feel like there would be people sitting on the fence. I'm one of them, and I've pre-ordered that Catwoman because I'm going, if things don't go well for that, that was an expensive pre-order, and the Aussie dollar is getting worse thanks to what's going on between the US and China. I don't know that I want to sink close to $1,000 into another figure when there's no runs on the board in the figure space. Vehicles, other conversation. And I think it was Kareem. I had an exchange with Kareem where he was saying, you know, he was thinking maybe it's better to wait till it's released and potentially pay a little more when it's in stock with retailers, but know it's good, then pre-order and be in limbo. And I'm like, maybe that is the approach to take with Penguin. Maybe, because it's still, like, Catwoman's still available to pre-order. Like, there's still places that have pre-order spots. So is that the way to go? I'm not sure. Looking good there, Miss Helen. Well, thank you. I don't know about that because it's 12:30 a.m. on Saturday and I feel like I look very tired, but thank you. I appreciate that. 100% agree with you. This feels like they're showing off to me. I won't get a figure from them unless I see a production piece. That's my thing. Like, I debated the Catwoman. I've been really honest about this. I debated, do I pre-order? And I kept thinking Hot Toys was going to give us some kind of teaser. Like, if they were legitimately doing Catwoman and Penguin the way so many people think they are, I thought they would have given us some kind of a hint of a teaser by now. So given we're this far in, are they? I don't know, because then they dropped, like, Mr. Freeze out of nowhere. So I don't know what to think. Because if I'd gotten any hint that Hot Toys was doing a Catwoman as well, I don't know that I would have pre-ordered the Catwoman. But when I got no sign from them and I went, like the other Catwoman that have been made by third-party figures, some are better than others. None of them are perfect. Like, FOMO got me. And I went, you know what? I'm going to put down the NRD. And if it turns into a train wreck, I will abandon ship. I will forfeit the NRD. Because this is my thing. Like, I've seen people here in Australia, like, trying to sell JazzInc vehicles lately, like people trying to sell Batwings, people trying to sell Batmobiles, and the prices they're listing them for, which I know because I'm in this space, I know they're not profiteering. I know they're not marking up. They're trying to get their money back, but when you're having to list a vehicle for between $3,500 and $4,000, and I know, because again, not everyone's dying on the hill of accuracy. When people know they can go to Pop Culture and get a brand new Hot Toys one delivered to their door for like $1,200, $1,300, a lot of people are going to do that. They are. So this is what gets me. Like, even if you get one of these, because a lot of people, oh, just get it and sell it if you don't like it. Easier said than done. Selling secondhand figures is a pain. Everybody wants a deal. I cannot be bothered. Like, figures I've got, I'm like, I'm just going to put them in the cupboard. I can't be bothered trying to sell them. I would rather sacrifice the NRD than pay the full amount and be trying to sell it forever and a day and be dealing with the lowballers. My personal view. JazzInc first version, March 2025, of the animated Batman is animated/realism DNA per JazzInc. Like the Batmobile has animated/realism DNA. But I think that's the thing, though, Benjamin. Like, people want it to be like the show, and I think that's what we saw with the feedback. Like, people were like, "No, we want it to look like the show. We don't want him to have this six-pack. We don't want him to have this feisty look." That's what people want, and I think with the car as well. Like, I followed that chain loosely, and I feel like there was some elements of the car that maybe changed or weren't that detailed, like under the bonnet, so they've had to do a bit of creative license, and I think that's a different scenario to the character has a certain body shape, and particularly, like, I always think of his legs as being quite skinny, so to have, like, bulkier feisty legs, like, I can understand why people weren't happy with that. Last live chat was with Six Scale Mafia. No, I know that, Dr. No, but the one I'm referring to was not that. I haven't watched that I know that's the most recent one. I haven't had a chance to watch that. But I feel like maybe JazzInc maybe it was on their own channel where they did a quick, hey, we're giving you an update on everything we've got going on. Maybe it was something on their own channel. Looking forward to the second half of this stream. Hashtag 4-hour stream. God, no. God, I had 2 hours 35, guys. This is ridiculous. No, Helen's got to go to sleep soon. But, God, 2:35 which is impressive for a Star Wars stream, but I actually didn't talk much about Star Wars. I feel like I talked about Tim Tam for half an hour, which people may have loved or hated. I don't know. These look like bangers. Hats off to JazzInc if they can pull them off. Well, that's the biggest thing, Mr. J. Like, we've got sculpts that are hand-painted that look beautiful. We've got outfits that are handmade by Gee Customs. How are they going to translate in a factory in China? That's what we don't know. That's the missing piece in this puzzle. And I feel like I can't be the only person that's having this bit of hesitation to be like, I don't know how much of my money I can put into pre-orders when we don't have even a photo of what an item from China looks like. Like, we've seen the Sean Dabbs Viola, Michelle Pfeiffer head sculpts, but what does the painting on a head sculpt from the Chinese factory look like? For people who are getting the damaged version, I got the clean one personally. What does that hair look like? What does the suit look like? And I get it. Like, I think there's some people that are maybe a little bit wanting the world with wanting the accuracy, but I want the suit to be posable. And this is the other thing. Like, I feel like people pre-order based on an understanding, and then the product develops over time and things get changed. Which is great if it's the change you want, but if you're happy with how it was and then some element gets changed of the outfit or the material, like, you've already made a commitment to that. And then it's changed, like, through no fault of your own. Because sometimes you just get a really vocal minority in that group that gets so, they bang the drums so loud that Yost listens to them. Or he does polls and people who are not even buying the thing vote in the poll, which I still think is ridiculous. Don't vote in a poll if you've not bought the thing. I'm up for losing a deposit rather than paying for aftermarket costs when a figure drops and it sells out. Those prices have been crazy, like when Artisan Edition Anakin dropped. I think it depends where you can buy it from. And this will be the interesting thing, because I'm keen to see when this releases, the Catwoman, which I'm assuming will be the first figure they release, is this something that is in stock at some point with 1/6 Kid? Because we've seen that with in-art releases. Like, yes, there's POs, there's all that, but I feel like generally there is some that are then just available to buy. So that's what I've got to think. JazzInc is not just making the ones that people PO. So surely there's going to be a few more that they're making. I'm not thinking we've got 3,012 pre-orders and that's all we're making. Like, this is not a vehicle. This is different. So I have to think perhaps there's going to be a bit more of a buffer with, hey, we're going to make 1,000 more figures and 1/6 kit spec. Do you want some stock? Or they're going to sell them directly because they've got wait lists. They'd have a wait list as well. People seem to convert on those wait lists for quite a while. So, oh God, one day you should do a 24-hour stream. You would probably be the first streamer to do it, and your watch count would go through the roof. Well, I don't know about that. I feel like if I did a 24-hour stream, at some point I'd be asleep. Shuri would probably be doing like licking my hair because she tries to groom me. Where is Shuri, by the way? I don't know where Shuri is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how entertaining I'd be for 24 hours, but I appreciate the sentiment. Personally, I don't get it. Expect production quality paintwork, not custom painted simple. Understand there will be a bit of a drop-off. Yeah, I know there will be a drop-off, but I think because we don't have a previous release, we're not sure the degree to which there will be a drop-off. Because I think with a hot toy figure, we look at that and we go, okay, maybe there'll be like 10% drop-off. And we've got a really big sample size of releases to base that on. But in the case of JazzInc, we don't have... I know they did Vulture, that was a long time ago, but this new direction they're taking with the figures, we don't have a previous release to go, okay, this was the Sean and Viola head sculpt, and then this was what the Chinese factory produced, and it was 5%, 10%, 50%, whatever the drop-off was. We don't have that baseline. So that's where I'm going, like, again, like, great to show these pictures, and it's looking really great, but, like, we're not getting this. So I'm like, I want to see the photos of what's being made of the Catwoman from the factory in China so I can then get an expectation of, if I'm seeing this, how close am I getting to this? Because I'm not getting G-Wiz custom clothes. I'm not getting hand-painted Viola head sculpt. But what's the drop-off? Because as I was saying earlier, like we saw that with RCN Studios. Like they showed these prototype head sculpts of Andrew Garfield and Sebastian Stan and Keanu Reeves. And the prototypes looked lovely. And a bunch of us pre-ordered those head sculpts. They were selling on 1/6 kit. And then they went to release that Keanu Reeves head sculpt. And that photo was such a bad drop-off to the point where they got told, like, if you want to exist, you need to redo this because this will be your last release. People will not buy from you again. And that's the difference between someone's hand painting the prototype and making it beautiful. Then you're taking that to the factory going, can you recreate this? And those people doing that paintwork, they're not on the same level as these custom people that are sitting there by hand, like meticulously focusing on every detail. Like it's not the same. I don't think you can compare the two. JazzInc released a video a few days ago regarding bringing manufacturing to the Netherlands. This can be a game changer. Time will tell. Buying may be more direct from JazzInc. Was that manufacturing or just distribution? Because I thought what they were saying was US customers will get their products shipped from the Netherlands, not from China. So I'm not sure if that's distribution or manufacturing, because I would assume manufacturing in Europe would cost more than manufacturing in China. To me, it's not a big deal to waffle on, suck up, deal with NRD, don't like how production, cancel or pay more in secondary market if you skipped, pre-order if you loved how it turned out. It's not a big deal to you, that's fine. But the thing is we're not getting a full sense of the figure when we're being asked to pre-order. Like even with this Batman the Animated Series, like they're showing a render of the body, but they've said all the images you're going to see are not this body. So I think that's a little bit cheeky to be like, it's not the right thing. It's not what we're going to make. it's another version, but pre-order on that and based on goodwill. And again, they have not released a figure in this line. People are going to have different opinions on it. This is my opinion. You're welcome to not agree, but I don't think I'm the only person that has this view on the situation. I was surprised that JazzInc Affleck back computer orders only 250, very limited numbers. Well, it's yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. And Yost even said that he's with that project, he's burnt by the amount of people who said they were going to get it in a poll, and then when it was time to pay up, like a lot of people don't. And this still gets me. Even with this penguin, there was people. Will you do the duck boat? And I'm like, guys, come on, like think of how big a duck boat's going to be. And Yost said, oh, if pre-orders for penguin go well, I'll progress the duck boat immediately. And I was like, really? Because when Mars Toys said they were going to do a duck boat, I was like, yeah, sure, duck boat. But then when I thought about particularly how high that might be, I was like, where are you putting a duck boat? Like, realistically, where are you putting it? And that's the thing. People get caught up in, oh, my God, that's so cool. But again, when it comes down to the size or the cost of it, so many people don't commit. They're committing in a poll, but when it's like, okay, guys, pre-orders are open, put in your deposit, I think that's also why he's not really doing 12th scale anymore, because he's just, like, it's not a viable product for him. So I can totally understand where he's coming from. It's a risk for any of the companies. You take a flyer on pre-order, see what happens. If the bed, then moving forward, don't pre-order, wait for production. RSL moving forward. I don't know what RSL means. Yeah, but this is... But companies that have a track record, you're not taking as much of a flyer. Like Hot Toys, you're not taking a flyer. Even some third-party companies that have been in the game for so long, like you have a baseline of expectation. Like when they've not brought anything out and we're not seeing the production version of the first figure that we've pre-ordered, to then open up pre-orders for something that, again, we're not seeing what a production might translate to. I don't know. It's just how it sits with me. If manufactured in Europe, then expect a price hike. 100%, and I'm pretty sure it was more the distribution will be from the Netherlands rather than the production, because I can't see how you could produce that at as good a price as they're getting in China in Europe. Example, Artisan Anakin, big drop-off in my opinion. It's still very good, but big drop-off. Known company, but they misled in my opinion. It's just a roll of the dice, just life. That's fair enough. I mean, different views from different people. Aside from like glue issues I saw with Anakin, and I appreciate I'm not the Star Wars audience, I thought it looked good. If you didn't, fair enough. As I said, I'm not in the business of trying to convince people if they don't agree. Agree, a lot of collectors are all talk, hardly back up what they're saying with their wallets. Well, this is the thing, because even all the Star Wars stuff they did, and people like joining the group now going, oh, why is there no Star Wars stuff? And it's like, well, because the Star Wars fans weren't buying the projects or supporting them to the degree that the Batman things were being supported. So I can totally get, like, you've got to produce from the line that's selling for you. And if that's Batman, I totally get why they're going down that direction. That's completely fine. RSL equals release. Okay. That's fair enough. I'm not up with all the abbreves, so apologies. Speaking of up, I've been up for a very long time. It is almost 1 a.m. on a Saturday morning. And I am probably going to call it a night very, very soon. Not trying to come off as crappy, just text chat stinks for lack of tone. That's fine, Jordan. As I said, people can have their views. I express mine in this stream. You're totally welcome to express yours. they're totally going to be different. I know JazzInc, In Art, whatever, everybody's got people that have different views on different brands, different experiences. That's cool. Like, as I say, I don't have a problem with it. I just, as I say, I'm just expressing my thoughts on the topic. Because, as I said, like, I've never bought anything from JazzInc. I have been a JazzInc observer. I've put a lot of faith in putting a pre-order down for that Catwoman, and given I'm not seeing what I might be getting, I am a bit hesitant to then be like, sure, I'll blindly drop a pre-order on Danny DeVito Penguin. That's just my view. As I said, everyone's going to have a different view, and that's completely fine. I have no problem with people having a different view to me. That's absolutely fine. Oh, Mr. J, always love your streams. Nice to hear what's going on in the community, and great way to kick off the weekend while working. Keep up the great content. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm trying to keep Fridays alive. I don't know what's happening with Collectors Unite, so I will just keep streaming on my channel. And I know last week there seems to be quite a few people that were still wanting me to do a stream next week, even if it's Good Friday. So I'll try to do Good Friday. I was even thinking maybe of swapping to Thursday, but I don't know if other people stream on a Thursday. But I think I'm probably more likely to stream next Friday. So again, if you do or don't, like, let me know, whether it's in the comments now or if you're watching on the replay. If you do want me to come on next Friday and chat about whatever we get between now and then, I'm totally happy to do that. But yeah, guys, like, thank you. I can't believe this almost went for 3 hours. I keep saying I'm a changed woman, and here I am with a close to 3 hour stream, which is ridiculous. But I did talk about snack food for a big chunk of that, so that joke's on me. It's my fault. If I wanted a shorter stream, I shouldn't have talked about Tim Tams for 45 minutes. Thank you for a great stream. Hope you have a great week. Thank you. You too. I hope everyone has a lovely weekend. Personally, I'm not some fan of theirs. I'm interested in their Catwoman, but waiting to pay off some stuff before pre-ordering. Have to decide on SKU. Yeah, that's another thing. There are a lot of SKUs, and I think if I had my time again, I don't know that I would have gone deluxe, because I'm like, what am I doing with all this head sculpts? I feel like the standard clean version probably would have been okay. This is funny. A lot of Mr. J agree. A lot of collectors are all talk. They hardly back up what they say with their wallets. They're not collectors. They're simply watchers with no wallet. Haters. It's interesting because I have wondered sometimes on this stream, when things come out and people are so quick to put down the promo photos or the blogger photos, I'm like, is this deliberate to help you feel comfort in the fact you're not going to buy it? Like, do you have to put it down to justify not purchasing it? I don't know. I do wonder. Cousin Anthony, I don't know if you're still listening, Cousin Anthony, but he talked about doing a video series about the psychology of collectors. And I really want him to do that, because I think it would be so interesting, and he would bring some really interesting insights to that. Because I genuinely wonder, with some of these patterns we constantly see, like, what's driving these comments? Why are people being like that? Like, I would genuinely love to know. I will watch next Friday. Thank you, Miss Batwoman. God, maybe I can bring some Australian Easter eggs or something, or some hot cross buns. Oh my God, I could have hot cross buns next week. That would be pretty amazing. Good Friday stream. Okay, people liking the idea of Good Friday stream. Good stream. Have a good weekend, everyone. You too, Often. Thank you for coming by. Goodness, I can't believe it's almost 3 hours. So I'm going to sign off because it is almost 1 a.m. on Saturday morning here. But guys, thank you so much for everyone who came to hang out. Really appreciate your thoughts and your input into the chat. I hope I didn't upset too many people with my Star Wars chat. I cover the newsy news even when I don't know what the newsy news is newsing about. It is what it is. But guys, have a great weekend. What is this? Justice for Figure Posing Channel Collection Tour. I know Cousin Anthony does need to do a collection tour at some point. Maybe when he finishes his collection room, he should do that for us. Have a nice weekend, everyone. You too, Miss Batwoman. Appreciate it. Great stream. Thank you, Carlos. Lovely to have you live in the stream. I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy y'all's weekend. Stay safe, collectors. 100%, guys. I will see you next week. And don't forget, if you can find the Tim Tams, if you're in the US, Target may be your friend. If you're in the UK, a penguin is similar. And if you're elsewhere, I don't know what to tell you. See if you can find Tim Tams. They are delicious. Try a Tim Tam Slam if you missed that. Start of this video. I'm keen to know if people did or didn't like that segment. Anyways, have a good weekend, everyone. You too, Keith. Thank you for coming by. Thanks for the stream. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Till next time. You too, Clint, guys. See you next week. Be safe. Bye.